Alrighty, so we are live with the, well, we'll call this the pre-match section for Evil Peniuses and There and Puck again. I will just post that this is live and that I'm going to do some pre-match analysis using all the fancy splash screens. So I better just find the YouTube link. So in tonight's pre-match analysis, we're going to cover a few important topics. We'll start then by considering where each team is in the standings and what tonight's match could potentially mean. So, right now the table is such that All Dead Go Jungle are top with 6 and 2. Then, oh yes, Clutchies lost, didn't they? So they're 4 and 4. Bring Back Buckets are also 4 and 4. Strongmen are 3 and 5. And then tonight's teams, There and Puck again are 3 and 3. And Evil Peniuses are 2 and 4. So a win for Evil Peniuses, a 2-0 win, would put them level in joint second. Joint second. Which would be, certainly better than I think a number of people are expecting them to do. But they performed very well in the last couple of matches they played, so it's not a huge shock. The 2-0 win against Strongmen, obviously significant one for them. It's where their points so far have come from. There and Puck again, I think so far have gone 1-1 in every game they've played. So if it was 1-1, that would put There and Puck again even with joint second, and Evil Pianist is only a point behind, but in fifth. But either way, that would, both these teams can still make the playoffs based on that. It's actually nowhere near as stratified a season as last season was, where my team got like 1 win all season or something. So that's actually pretty big. In terms of their matches next week, There and Puck again play the last game of the season, well, of the regular season next Wednesday, against Plotchies, who are, as I say, 4 and 4. So that'll be quite important for deciding who makes playoffs. And Evil Peniuses play Bring Back Buckets on Sunday, as currently scheduled. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting stuff in terms of the potential outcomes of tonight's games. Next up then, I need to set up the import for... I want to look at the role-by-role comparisons for these players. That'd be pretty funky, I think. So you just need to give me 2 minutes to set up the necessary splash instance. So we need the data summary. Let's see how this works. Just give me a moment or two to create a new source in OBS. Splash, data splash, we'll call this one. And then what size does it need to be? I can't remember what size my screen is. I should check my resolution. Oh, right, that's why. I have a very large screen. So, yeah, so we're going to need to crop that. So I'm just going to hide that for a moment while I try cropping it right down to the right size. So I need to put a crop pad filter on apparently. And then I need to try... 46, 1.3, 54, 176. Right, well that doesn't look right at all. It's because this screen's been... that's what it is. The screen's been changed since Aiden wrote the instructions for this a while ago. The stats splash screen. Oh, this is the data summary one, not the stats splash as well. I see. I mean, the data summary screen is super cool, but I think it will be sensible to do this as 2 different splashes. So let's take more off the bottom. Put it like 900 off the bottom. That looks better. Then I need to take obviously a lot more off the right. Like 1,000? Even that's not enough. Even 1,500 is not enough. 1,800? That looks pretty good, I would say. I need to take slightly off the bottom. Let's try 850. There we go. Lovely. Well, you wait for the next one, Semmel. Here we go. Oh, it's not stretched to full screen anymore. It's because I've cropped it so much. There you are. So I need to change this to be full screen. How do I? Does it stretch to screen? Let's try that one. There we go. Look at that. Look at that data. It's more data, right? Everyone loves a bit of data. So what can we see from this data then? So highest last hit hero apparently right now is Viper at a 3% pick rate. Although that said, is that pulling through right, Alex? No, no, it's not. That because that's not Viper. That's just telling me that if I search on Viper, it's got a 3% pick rate and a 50% win rate this season. But that can't be right. I need to talk to you about this, Alex, because those stats don't look right. That's a shame. Well, apparently the all-time last hit record, well, all-time being since the start of season 18, looks to be Ruby on a Medusa with almost 1,200 last hits. So that's interesting. Most picked hero so far this season is Bane, tied. Most banned being Void Spirit. That's interesting. We don't have the kills or assists figures pulling through at the moment, so need to fix that. Total heroes picked 76 this season. Misshook has the highest kill average, the highest GPM average, the highest assist average, and the most different heroes. No. No, I don't think so. There's something wrong with these stats right now. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll just quickly check the player data, but I thought Misshook had only played 3 different heroes. And I'm sure I know people who have played more than that. Misshook, Underlord, Necrophos, Axe. Oh, Hoodwink. Oh, because his sub appearances. So then that offsets the fact he's played Underlord 3 times. So you know what? That would count. That would calculate as him having played a different hero every game because he's got 2 sub appearances where he played different things again. So never mind. That may well be right. And I'm a fool to doubt Alex and his brilliant data splash screen. It would seem. Not sure about the not applicable, though. I think there's a formula error there we need to fix, but I'll have a look at it with him. Apparently we have the least different heroes played, though. To be fair, that's because we do pick the same supports every game, because no one ever seems to ban them. So, yeah. I mean, I might just be talking complete fucking nonsense, it seems. Highest kill average, strongmen. That makes sense, because I bet they have the highest average game length as well, although currently that's pulling through an error. So we'll have to look at fixing a few of those things, but that's still pretty cool. Alright. I should check. Nick is still not turned up, so apparently he's promised he will do. But yeah, let me see about getting the other two splash screens on as well. So that's that one we did. That's oh, why are they going to the same link? Let me check this. Data. No, that should work. Yeah. Weird. Right. So this is, in a moment, we're going to have another one for the stat splash, very excitingly. In the meantime, it's just going to randomly. What did I say my resolution was? 3840 by 2160. Right. Well, I need to again crop pad filter that, so you'll have to bear with me a moment. But the point is, we're doing lots of exciting pre-game analysis here, and I'm totally not just using this as an excuse to add more splash screens. But I mean, people say they love my splash screens, you know. Apparently I could do a whole cast where I did nothing but splash screens. I mean, I didn't make them. Alex did, because he's actually, you know, smart and good at this kind of thing. But 2800 may be a bit much. 1800 not enough. 2000. 2000 looks pretty good, actually. How does that look? That looks right. Let's just stretch it, like, make it full screen then. There we go. Cracking. Look at that. Right, so it's got the wrong teams up at the moment. It should be there and Puck again as this one. Alright, so now we can have a quick look at how they perform by role. So right now there's no data in Pavornabar. Maybe Pavornabar has games in. Right. Oh, hold on. Alex isn't pulling in the full data for this at the moment this season. Presumably because it's right now all sat on Dota buff, so I don't know whether this is considered to be a little bit irrelevant. Don't know. I'll have a chat with him. If he just needs help with the data input, I'm very happy to do that. Yeah. Because, you know, and the really cool thing, and Alex built all of these himself, by the way, is you can go in here and kind of just kind of say, you can, you know, compare the players by role. So Yam and G being the plus ones for these teams. G, seasons before this, has averaged 10.6 kills per game, compared to Yam's 5.6, 10.8 assists, but Yam's slightly above with the 11.3. Camp stacked 1.4 and 2.5, but we can also have a change with these, you know, so we can have a look at deaths. 4.1 to 5, not a big difference there. Deaths 10 minutes in. Both of them are averaging less than 1 death per laning phase, so that's pretty good. Net worth at 10 minutes. Bit of a difference there, I suppose, 2800 against 35, but this might not be limited to when Yam's just played POS 1. Yam has played other roles as well, and G almost always has played core in IDL, even when he's not played 1. Well, we're about to go live. In terms of choices then, so Evil Peniuses have taken first pick, and then Puck again have opted for the Radiant. So that's interesting. I tend to think that second pick is easier to draft at the moment. So we're just jumping into the draft. So what I'm going to actually remember to do is turn the splash screens off and show you the draft. Look at that. That is just professional level casting. I'll have no doubting the quality of this cast just based on that. Why am I not getting any game sound? Oh, because I turned my headphones right down. Right. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to end up with the co-caster for game 1, but maybe I will in game 2. If anyone wants to, you know, feel free. Yeah, so as I was saying, first pick I think is more difficult to draft at the moment. So I think you certainly, I think as first pick you have to have a far more specific plan. Second pick, it's much easier to kind of draft responsively, and you know, responsive drafting is a trap, and it certainly can be. You can trick yourself into responding too much to heroes and not enough to the overall kind of setup of team fights, or kind of like giving yourself the tools that you need to win the game. People get too obsessed with counterpicking heroes either in lane or in game, and end up without the tools they need to win fights, or to take Roshan, or to take objectives. But, you know, I've tried a couple of plans as possible. You know, I think the only games we've lost this season have been the games where we tried this first pick strategy of picking AM at the end of phase 1 and kind of insufficiently protected it through the rest of our draft, or just not giving ourselves the tools we need elsewhere in the draft, because we've kind of like been like, we're all about this AM. So, you know, I'm thinking a little bit about that. There's a bit of me that's just like, Ari's so good at aim in the first place, we protect it a little bit less and just give ourselves ways to fight, and that probably works better. So there on Puck again ban both the Necro and the DP. So they let the Witch Doctor through, and I think that's really interesting. Jack wants the Rubik. I know that he's been thinking Rubik's very strong at the moment. Out comes the CK as well. This could well be Gianni's hero. I know Chris will also play it in the offlane. So that's a pretty flexible, strong opening to start. But Evil Peniuses won't be too unhappy. They've got the Witch Doctor, which I think they're a huge fan of. They banned the so their bans both target the offlane of their own puck again, I think. Chris has been playing a lot of this offlane axe, and I think it's very good. And Jack won't shut up about Pugna. So that's why I've got the Pugna ban here as well. We can put splash screens back on in a bit, Stephen. So now this pick is the single most important pick if your first pick. You've got to use this pick to pick something good. And the question is, are they going to take Tiny? They're going to go for Medusa. Okay, so now you have to use these 3 picks well to protect the Medusa pick, or to set up for what the rest of your plan is. Not a bad Medusa game, gotta say. Not based on what we can see so far. But Rubik also not too unhappy to play against Medusa. The key thing to watch for here is that Yam needs to be toggling split shot after every single spellcast. If you do that well, then Rubik can never get anything useful.
Are you casting this, mate?
I am, yeah.
On Twitch?
YouTube.
No, just checking. Nice one.
Cool. Yeah, so yeah, that's the key thing to watch for. And they banned the AM, not surprising. The Dark Tier ban in response, because Nick will play that, I think. Interesting they banned that though, because they could have had Crisp on it, and it's quite good against Medusa. Because Medusa's quite a stationary hero. Yeah, I think that's interesting. So what else do they think they need to ban here? Terrorblade, classically quite good against Medusa. I wouldn't ban Naga. Naga's fine against Medusa, but it's not exciting. Invoker, but I probably wouldn't on balance be going after the Invoker. Like, Cole can play it, but there's other stuff I think he does a better job of. And it's not so disastrous for Medusa. PL might not be a bad ban, but I don't know how big a fan Gianni is of that. I was watching T1 against Fnatic, and T1, I think it was, ran a very good Drow against Medusa and completely crushed it. So that would be an option. Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker actually very good ban, because Dawnbreaker is one Carl likes a lot. And apparently POS 1 Dawnbreaker, so presumably POS 2 as well, is just brilliant against Medusa. Not entirely sure why, but I've seen it in practice, and it does seem to... I still, despite having seen it happen, I still couldn't quite work out why. But even in the late game, POS 1 Dawnbreaker, this core Dawnbreaker thing, just very good against Medusa. Huskar ban. I think that's a bit odd. Nothing about this screaming Huskar. CK's quite good against Huskar as well. No, I think that's a bit weird. PL ban I quite like. Nyx would have been a good ban as well, I think, but they'd have had to put it in a weird place, so. Yeah. Nothing wrong with these bans so far. And Farley calling Jakiro. Presumably Jakiro is good against Medusa, according to Stephen, or is this just that Jakiro's a great IDL hero? Or that Nick might play Jakiro? I don't think you're too worried about that as there in Pukugen, because seeing Jakiro and Rubik is great. CM out for Chloe. Okay. Yeah, interesting one. So you've got to use this double pick now to show quite a lot. You're probably taking your 4 and your 3. But what would be ideal is if you can take 2 somewhat flexible heroes. So I wouldn't hate them taking something like Jakiro Clock. Clock's bad here though because of the CK. I think Jakiro would be quite a good pick because they could run it 2, 3, or 4. Obviously, as I say, the Rubik means that you're not loving picking Jakiro, but it swings and roundabout. Bad against Rubik, good against CK. Oh, and as Steven's saying in chat, would be good for them Puck again, but they can't take it now, I think. Hoodwink. So that's probably Peter's hero. And that Brewmaster will be Rich's hero. So I think you're probably looking at your 4 and one of your other 2 cores there. But there is a question about where this Brewmaster goes. Rich can play it mid, he can play it off lane. Thing is though, when I think of my classic Nick mids, I end up thinking about things like Dazzle or Razor, which are not great against CK. And not great here, I think. I guess they could still pick mid Jakiro for Nick. But, I mean, that Pango pick I think is great. Pango as a hero I think is just so strong at the moment. For some reason, in this meta, Rolling Thunder is just fantastic. And it absolutely is. And it's very good against Medusa as well. There's a decent chance you're going to keep Medusa disarmed. I would quite like this, and I think it will be actually, a mid Pango, because I know Chris doesn't love playing it, and I Carl quite enjoys it. And I think going Ags would bizarrely actually be a really good choice on Pango here. It's not where the pros are going, but I think at this level, and with how good a kind of disarm game it is against this Medusa, I'd consider doing it anyway. Nothing that makes this great is there's just nothing BKB piercing right now on Evil Peniuses, and it's not like they're getting by an Abyssal really or anything like that. So, yeah, I think very good Pango pick. That said, we've not talked enough about the Brew. The Brew is extremely good against CK and against CM, and isn't that worried about Rubik either. Like, you can try and dispel the CK illusions. I think it takes, for most of the game, it's probably going to take you 2 casts to get rid of them. But that's not so bad. You can chuck you can cancel the CM ult in a bunch of ways very easily. You can just run the CM down. You can probably just run the Rubik down as well. If you can get to the Pango pre-rolling boulder, you're just going to throw him in the air. Surprised they banned TV, having got the Brew. But it is still very good against Medusa. And they banned Jakiro in response, so they're wise to this. They know that Evil Peniuses are missing a Nick hero. They banned Dazzle, they banned Jakiro. The Weaver ban Gianni plays. So yeah, they're not sure where the CK is going either. But they're very confident the last pick's going to be Razor. I guess because they don't really have anything else in Nick's arsenal. I don't think this is a great Razor pick. The BKB, the fact that Razor basically just goes straight BKB makes it quite good against Pango, I suppose. But it's not great against CK, and I'd be looking probably at running a POS 1 CK now. And picking a different offlaner. Certainly that's my view of how the CK Razor matchup goes. Maybe it's different. I suppose they need some more damage in their draft either way. So if they're picking their 3 here and not a 1, they need to be picking quite a high damage 3. The Razor Pango mid matchup is, it's probably slightly Razor favoured, assuming Razor puts more points in Q than W. Should go like 3-2-0. But Pango can do perfectly fine out of it. With the kind of 1-3-1 build, you just, you're going to use your Shield Crash for farming, you're going to hold your Swash and use that to try and break Razor's W the moment it's used. Swash doesn't quite carry you out of the range, so maybe after an attempt or two, wouldn't surprise me if, Nick fell for it the first time, particularly with how short the mid lane is, but after a bit, he's going to get a measure of that, and he's going to win this mid lane, I would expect, on the Razor. CK do so 1v1 a bad idea? Sure, yeah, but I think you can answer that from your 3 position as well, with something like a Mars. Mars very good against Dusa, but they could also just pick something like a Drow. I don't mind either way. No, because the Brewmaster makes running the CKs a 1-2 difficult. This needs to be their 1. Yeah, so they go for the Drow. Yeah, and as I say, in the Fnatic T1 game, we saw just quite how strong a Drow could be against Dusa. Now, I think that Drow in question had an IO tethered to it, which obviously super hypes the damage output, but nevertheless, it's certainly not a matchup the Drow is too worried about. It's very good against Razor as well. Yeah, I don't think the Down Puck again will be unhappy at all with how this has ended up. But the flip side is, I don't think Evil Peniuses should be too unhappy either. Key question is how they're going to cancel the Drow's passive. That's probably going to have to be the Razor's job. So I'd quite like to see Nick get a relatively decent timing on a Blink. Probably go something like BKB Plate Mail Blink. I suppose Brew can do something of that as well. But yeah, we'll have to see. I can't remember actually how the Brew Pandas interact with cancelling Drowsel. If they do so, then, you know, I think you can just leave it to the Brew. You don't need a blink on this Razor, and I'm talking nonsense. Dusa has ult to get in her face and build Scardy. Yeah, I mean, it definitely goes both ways, Stephen, but Drow is also good against Dusa, right? Particularly if you can free hit at all. And Sean placing a credibility question on the players on this, which is not something this caster is going to be doing. But yeah, certainly I don't think it's like madly Drow favoured or anything like that. I certainly wouldn't try and say that. But I also think Drow is good against Medusa. Medusa's got upsides as well, and Drow's got upsides. But potentially they're rolling. And I suppose they do, I said there's no BKB piercing stuff for the Pango, and obviously I'm wrong because there's a Medusa ult. So to a degree, bizarrely, it's actually Radiant, the team without the Medusa, that wants to be taking the fights in choke points. Normally, a Medusa wants to fight in choke points, but I think the Pango ult and being able to do it without it getting consistently cancelled by Drought, well, not cancelled, but stoned to a significant proportion of the duration by the Medusa is probably more important. If you're fighting somewhere like the River, the kind of time it takes you to roll back across the Medusa, like that kind of angle or whatever you're doing, you can get stoned in it quite easily because you only have to be facing the Medusa for 2 seconds. Not that long. So yeah, we do have Chris on the CK, starting with a full 1. Sometimes I feel like Chris is out to tilt me with these item builds. What is this full 1 start? Against Witch Doctor do so? I don't understand. He can tell me afterwards, but for now I'm just going to say that certainly seems peculiar to me, if nothing else. Dire looking for a wraparound, looking for a first blood attempt, but Radiant or topside. Mana shield calculate without armor, so marksmanship doesn't do anything special. Yeah, still procs for extra damage though. As I say, it looked good in the T1 Fnatic game where the Drow just completely destroyed the Medusa, but did have a tethered IO. Gianni now coming down looking to get to his lane safely, and I think he's going to be able to. They will see him on this ward that they placed. I like this ward, but probably not, at a point when they're going to be able to do anything about it. Although, actually, he's paused. Oh, but Peter's just heading to lane normally, so G's going to get there just fine. And Chloe's going to TP down to join him. Carl in the mid lane then, so he started quite a bit of stats, and a Quelling Blade and a Mango. Nick with the full Wraith Band. I guess the armor's decent enough to have. Carl gets first blood, on last hits I mean, obviously. Yam has the Quelling Blade to help with the last hit, some stats, and a Mango and a Salve. Really, I want M to be giving you those, and M's got enough. You probably don't need the, I'd like this to be more stats instead, I think, but whatever. It's not. It's these early items. They're certainly helpful for the early laning stage, but they're not definitive. We won't talk about Chris's items any further. That's weird. So with a null tally on Jack, I think, but he does get the nice block on the pull camp. Meanwhile, Chloe does defend her pull camp with a ward. Peter doesn't get to block it. Actually looks like he's traded quite unfavourably there. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Carl's off to a roller of a start. To be fair, I imagine Razor will kind of build into this lane more and more as it goes. So maybe not a huge surprise that Carl started better on the Pango. But certainly in a few minutes' time, I would be surprised if we're still seeing this be the case. I like how Nick got around there. That's really cool. And yeah, Carl's now going to take it. Wow, Carl's taking a ton of damage. Yeah, that was really nicely done by Nick. That's a really cool thing. I haven't seen that. The kind of way he wrapped around there. They both went to each other's range creep, but he very wisely, complimenting Nick, shudder, made a good read of how that allowed him to play the lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Chloe and Gianni get a kill on onto Peter, and it looks like Rich might go down here as well. Yeah? Double kill for Chloe, easy clap. I think Rich is a little unlucky there. Smile. Not unlucky at all, but you know, memes. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Chris is, 11 and 5, so doubling up right now on Yam, but, early stages. Medusa's lane just gets better and better as you get more points into the Mystic Snake. But CK is a laning tower as well, like with the Chaos Strike. You can never really push him out of lane. He's got a stun. He can always get quite aggressive. And yeah, he just gets his own Yam off the range creep repeatedly as well. So that feels nice. But he has like this. Oh, it's not gone under tower. That's perfect for Chris. Gotta say, absolutely perfect. Okay, so Nick in the mid lane, checking for water runes, doesn't have any, but Nick's in a great place resource-wise. Carl is out of mana and out of bottle charge, so this next wave I think is going to be, particularly with where it's positioned, I don't know if Carl can even really come to contest this. Nick's itemization looks surprisingly sensible. It's going to lose all its damage. That's probably enough, Nick. Just go back and play the lane now. In the top lane, Catfish does go down, I presume. Yeah, we just get the Chaos Sport Reality Rift and then a zap from Jack, and yeah, it's dangerous to be a Witch Doctor. Already. CK is such a complete bully of a hero. And also just has a lot more damage than this Medusa, so it's not an easy last-hitting situation. But as I say, I think more points on Snake will kind of give Yam a bit of an ability to push things out. So Jack's got the side pull off now. Yam is coming to contest. Meanwhile, M is unblocking that camp and is then going to come help contest, I assume. But Chris is coming over to bully back. That's a good cast, though, to Maldi, but they don't have the Snake for their follow-up because it's already been used, so I don't think this is going to end up doing too much to Chris. And actually, now Yam's out of mana, has Mana Shield on. Getting blocked up there a bit. Chris doesn't have another spell rotation, though. A lot of damage done there. So yeah, top lane going pretty well, and Chloe's got a third kill down here in the bot lane. Yeah, lane going, both the side lanes going great, I think, for them and Puck again. Meanwhile, even the mid lane's going fine as well for them. On balance, Nick's got 1 extra last hit, 4 extra denies, but that's 5 extra denies. But misses a couple of last hits because he wanted to press a Q, and he's 1-3. I don't love this 1-3-1 thing he's done. I will say that. I think he'd be better, probably 3-2-0, and he'll find it'll amp his farm more in the mid game because that Q just isn't doing anything right now. But he is, nevertheless, while I do disagree a bit with his skill build, he's playing the lane well, he's pushing Carl out well, and, credit to Carl, I think, for the amount he's managing to find. I actually say the side lanes are going well for them, Puck again, but, Rich is conjuring up a bunch of last hits, despite the fact that, they've got 3 kills in the spot lane. A quick check on net worth, because it says the 1k lead. And it's mainly, yeah, Carl 400 behind there, and Yam's 800 behind. Rich is 300 behind as well. Oof. And the supports are both behind. Yeah, so it's just, yeah. So they are losing all the lanes at the moment. So they're going to choose to move M down to help get aggressive in the spot lane. They find the Hoodwink thing, Bushwhack, and then Cask, and they do bring down Chloe with Rich getting the killing spree. Oh, we've got a Keats garage. Hi, Keats garage. Meanwhile, Yam left alone top, getting pushed back by Jack on the Rubik, who is probably going to be the one to see these 2 runes as well. Oh, but Carl does go down to Nick, who's got him with the max static link and Eye of the Storm here. Presumably had to dive the tower a bit looking at his health, but that's really nicely done. I want the fight recap for that. Can't see that Carl's spells purely used to disengage. Oh, meanwhile, M goes down in the bot lane. G now level 6, so 3 points in multi-shot and a point in marksmanship. Lots of damage going to come out from this Drow now. Rich still level 5. Harder for him to get too aggressive. Don't know if this is this the normal brew build at the moment? Gotta say, I used to love playing brew, but my knowledge of brew builds is way out of date. So Carl, only half a level behind, despite the death and the number of denies. He is last sitting well. Nick opting for the Yules? Yeah, I think that's a reasonable choice here. Oh, they do get the split and immediately use it to get aggressive in this bot lane, and they're going to get 2 kills, I think. Yeah, double kill for Rich. Very nicely done. This moving 3 heroes down here has worked out well. But the flip side of that, of course, is Chris already has his armlet, has popped Phantasm, has a siege creep, and he's just going to get this tower. I think that tower's just dead, right? He's going to go drag the next wave. I assume? Well, maybe not. Has Chris messed this up a little bit here? I think he has. Oh no, his next creep wave arrives in time. Never mind. All good. All good. So that's worked out fine. And yeah, pre 10-minute tower. Very nice because the Medusa's been pushed out of lane. But this was a strategic decision they've clearly made. They wanted to form a tri-lane in the bot lane and just send Deuce to jungle once Deuce has got 2 or 3 points of Mystic Snake. And Yam has, pre-stacked camps for himself here as well. So is this going to stack? It does. Nice. Chris opting then. He's going to go, armlet, treads. Looks like it's going to be Echo Shard BKB. Interesting. Carl going for the pretty normal at the moment Diffusal Blade build. No ult at the moment for Rich, but Rich has gone for the urn. Probably going to keep it urn. No real need for a Vassal here. That's it. I thought part of the point of the urn on this hero was that you used it to ignite your Cinder Brew. It's a level 1 Cinder Brew. I'm kind of unexcited by that. Yeah, don't know. If anyone in chat has any input on this, then Stephen, as a beer drinker, I can say it's correct. Stephen, I don't trust you on Brewmaster builds. I barely trust you on Cali builds. Because you're always like, oh, I saw Mason do it once. And I'm like, well, Mason's washed. Oh, so Peter's going to see that this haste rune is going to leave it for his mid laner, because I think now we're going to see Nick get somewhat aggressive with this haste rune, knowing Nick as I do. Yep. Oh, that bushwhack didn't hit anything? Right, well, Jack very sensibly just TP's out in response. Chris just kind of farming up here. 75 and 23 now. 600 net worth ahead of anyone else. And the Medusa not in a great place, to be honest. Oh, they've used the split. They're going for some aggressive plays here, and oh, I thought Chris was TPing bot, but he actually TP'd mid, and he's going on Nick. He uses the tumblers. Gonna get close, but doesn't get there. Meanwhile, they do manage to get Gianni down in the bot lane with the split, and I think they're gonna get Chloe here as well. So yeah, forming this tri-lane has worked out very well for them. They put Rich in a really great position, which is important, I think, because in the early mid game, he's going to be a lot of how they're going to try and answer this CK. And Nick's done a good job. He's almost 1,000 ahead of Carl here. So, well, I say almost 1,000. Somehow Carl just got 250 gold, but immediately as I say that, but yeah, not a bad position at all. Question is, can they actually aggress on this CK, or do they have to leave it alone? If they can aggress on it, it's only when Phantasm's down. Then maybe they could, try and bait out the Phantasm and make a cute cask play with Maledict. Don't know. Yam's in danger. Doesn't have ult. Only 1 point in mana shield. I think what Stephen was saying to me about Medusa builds, and I think Ali said something similar to me as well, is that people are normally going for these 3 points in Mystic Snake, and then kind of leaving it there, and then maxing Split Shot. So Yam's actually stopped a point earlier, and stopped at 2 points, but does mean that you get to the max Split Shot faster. Yeah, for me, I personally would have thought that 4 points was right, but as I say, 4 points certainly isn't the common one at the moment, it seems, among the pros. So, yeah, probably I'm overrating Split Shot. Fight going down in the triangle, Nick does go down. They get the steal on Jack, and manage to put 3 heroes into him, and they use a Rolling Thunder. They're going to get the counter kill onto at least Jack, though, and it looks like Chloe as well, I would have thought. Yeah, Chloe is dead as well. Both teams probably not too unhappy about that. You know, Radiant probably quite happy they got the kill on the mid lane and was doing quite well. Meanwhile, Dire probably not too unhappy because they traded 2 for 1. And again, quite a bit of that goes onto Rich. And this Brewmaster getting strong feels very good for them. So he does actually opt for the full vessel. I am surprised by that. I really do want to know why, so I will ask Rich later. Nick now very close to his Yules. Nice, I know he likes that, so great. He's going Shard after that. That seems odd. Don't know. I mean, if the most unusual thing Nick does in a build is buy a Shard earlier than I feel like he should, then that's still very restrained for him. So we'll see what happens. He just missed those 2 last hits though. Ah, cringe. Rich playing quite aggressively into this jungle, despite the fact that Dire haven't taken any towers yet. I think you only really want to be here if you've taken towers. Certainly, it feels like at the bare minimum you should probably be cutting these waves so you get the tower by proxy. Peter misses another bushwhack. This is very uncharacteristic for Peter. He's normally, you know, a sniper with those things. Well, except he doesn't insist on games going on for over 2 hours. But, you know, is that sniper, is that Connor? We'll never know. I keep seeing Yam's health bar and being utterly terrified. But I don't think Yam's actually in any danger at all. Unless an enemy hero happens to stumble into there, but yeah, their triangle feels pretty safe right now. Peter going to sit top. Chris is still just farming away though. He's got the full Echo Saber. I think I go Blink now before I go BKB or Shard. I'm pretty sure Chris can just kill that or that, and maybe that with Phantasm, just immediately. If he gets, and Blink will make it that much easier. So I'd like to see him just go straight into the Blink now. But, you know, he's got 1 billion damage. But the CK is utterly terrifying. Carl has the finished diff. She has a lance as well. So there's a bit of a mini timing here, I think, for the Radiant, where they've got their first kind of round of significant items, yeah, and just dies. They don't manage to get the split off either. They just pop all their spells really effectively. Oof, and that's 3 heroes down. And the mid tower. Very nicely done there. They just got aggressive on this timing. They use the roll well. They use the Phantasm very well. They just popped a CM ult as well to kind of get damage out. But it does look like CK did an awful lot of the damage there. You know. Trying to give credit where credit's due, but CK just kind of killed 3 people. And then Peter went down afterwards as well. So yeah, the CK is just complete and utter menace. Also the highest level in the game by distance, right? 13, 11, 10, yeah. So Radiant already off to a significant XP lead and a 5k net worth lead, 16 minutes in. Not great, not great. And they do manage to bring down M up here, but this is a really important split. They can get Chris down here. Dispel? Yep. Out comes the Dispel, but in comes Carl. In comes Gianni. Oh, they do just manage to bring down Chris in time. Wouldn't shock me if Radiant clear this up, though. I think Rich is certainly going to go down. And Yam walking back in. Is Yam going to go down as well? I feel like Yam's going to go down as well here. It's a good bushwhack, but they're just completely out of reason. Oh, M being up is maybe enough. Oh, good death ward, and actually that's going to be Carl dead. I don't blame him for getting aggressive there at all, though. I was feeling that. But yeah, what's the end result of that? 3 for 2? 3 for 3? Okay. So actually that ends up being really great for the Dire. Because they bring down the CK hero. They, you know, they lost M at the start, then they got a great split off, got a lot of damage onto the CK. Radiant felt like they had to retreat out. They were able to bring in Gianni and Carl, but probably a little bit too late. The CK certainly couldn't turn and fight at that point. And Carl had to start his role facing the other way because of the Deucer ult. Did mean that by the time he actually arrived at them, the Deucer ult had expired, but it also meant it took him like 3 seconds to arrive, right? Because he was facing the other way and then had to go bounce off here before he came back. Yeah. Bushwhack on Jack. Does half of Nick's health with Bushwhack into press of his W. In response, Rich does kind of just ignite a Spear Vessel, but yeah, no big impact from that. Nick actually going into the S and Y. So quite an old school Razor build we're going to see here, not this BKB rush that we've been seeing. Oh, M just makes a classic M play, just kills someone in the middle of 3 heroes. Does die in response, but not going to be unhappy about that. Although, actually, what that net worth change favours Radiant? Huh. Bizarre. And the XP change favours Radiant as well? Man, splitting kills between heroes is so value then. But even just the initial kill on M was worth more. Was M on some kind of spree or something? No. Right, 278 plus 162. Oh, it's because M died and lost gold, Nathan, you absolute bloody idiot. Yeah, not smart, not smart. Yam farming away and is catching up now. At a point was a good 1,000 gold behind, you know, any of the other cores, and now is starting to significantly catch up. The difference is, to be honest, that Chris is just way ahead. Has gone for the shard into the BKB before the blink, but, you know, he's playing a bit more of a carry role here. Meanwhile, over here, Carl kills Nick. Chloe's going to go down in response. Carl has diffed the Brewmaster, but I think Carl's going to die for his trouble, yeah. Probably wasn't the turn he was looking for, but they do get this wrapping from the side here. Rich scouts it out, though, with the Fire Panda. They get the lift onto Gianni, they get the Dispel onto the rest of the illusions. That's a really good Medusa. Well, oh, one of the illusions didn't get it. Oh, no, that's the one from the shard. They do manage to bring down Peter, and they bring down Rich as well. Oh my gosh, the lifesteal's too much. Chris does go down in the end, but, you know, Yam just can't stand up to this Drow hitting and is going to die. So that is another 3 for 2, I think. 4 for 2 because Nick died. If we're counting the Carl kill, we've got to count the Nick kill. So yeah, definitely a favourable engagement for the Radiant there. Finds Yam, gets off the Maledict, but Maledict not hugely effective into here with Mana Shield. He's going to have the Manta in a moment. Use the Salve, probably didn't need to use the Salve, particularly if you're walking back to the fountain and have basically full health already, but whatever, you know. It's a shovel one, right, so. Nick getting aggressive onto Chloe here, with the link off. He's got his shard now, I can see, so all these spells they're spamming are at least, you know, punishing them somewhat. They do bring down Chloe in the end. And now is Floppy's going to find the snipe? He's not! This is a really nice roll from Carl. He's using Invis Rune as well. Chris is just going to kill Nick, yep. And the invisible Rolling Thunder. Does Yam have ult? No. So they can't fight right now. Yam's ult is about to come up, though. Rich doesn't have ult for another 20 seconds, so M's going to die here. I don't know that you can fight this without the Rich ult. And Peter just gets dragged in and dies. Now Rich is getting wailed on by the CK illusion as well, and they've no vessel charges to use. Oh god, Rich is in danger. Rich is dead. He does get the switch onto the orange Drunken Brawler in time. Although, actually, hold on, is that not the fire one? Doesn't he usually be on the earth one? Even the storm one would have been better there. So he's just on the wrong one, I think. Pretty sure that's the fire one. Meanwhile, up here, they find Nick again, and Nick's going to go down again. It feels like Nick's just died 4 times in a row. After such a great start, they are going to get Chloe again, but, you know, worth it all day for the Radiant there. And in the last couple of minutes, the net worth leader's ballooned from 5k to 9k. Yeah, we're tracking pretty consistently, about 5k, all the way along there. And then it just jumps to 9k. Oh, Chris comes in. I'm just covering the screen up with stuff, but they get the final split off. They dispel the illusions, and there's no way that Chris lives here. Only question is whether they can get M first, but he can't. They're chasing on now. They're trying to get Jack. I feel like they're going to... Yeah, they can find the boulder. He does get a nice toss back, but I think this is going to be a dead Jack. And that's a really great engagement for the Dire. They trade Nick for 3. More net worth for the Brewmaster here. But the Brewmaster's really the only Dire core keeping up. So he's got a lot to do. Yam now has the finished Manta at least. I think that's important. And they're going to see Carl TPing in, but they bushwhack the other here instead. They do get in with the cast, the Maledict, but Chloe eats the Hoodwinkled sharpshooter, right? Like squirrel thing. Nick now, he's bought the Ogre Axe first, so he's trying to decide, I guess, whether he's going to go for the SNY or the BKB. He's got a BKB in his build path as well. I feel like this needs to be the BKB though. I feel like there's a reason people are doing this by BKB on base, I think. They smoke up and decide to go again. I'm guessing Rich has an axe. Yeah, that must be why. So he's just got ults coming out as Wazoo here. And they're going to go looking for Gianni. They're scouting with the Hoodwink illusion, but... and they find the bushwhack, and they're just going to bring down Gianni. And M gets the kill with the Maledict. Classic M play. Stealing kills all over the place. And they have counter-smoked on the Radiant, but they aren't actually doing anything with this counter-smoke, it seems. Can't make a decision, maybe? Chris has got a fresh BKB. That's not Carl. Oh, but there is a Glimmer on this. Let's pay attention to that Glimmer. I think it's going to be important. Oh, Chloe gets the ult cancelled. But in comes the Rolling Thunder. But it actually knocks Nick slightly up the hill. So Carl goes rolling into the back lines. Nick goes running into the front lines. Nick's going to die to Chris here. Yeah. Team zoned out by the Rolling Thunder. Still, they did bring down Jack. They did get Gianni before all of that. Not too bad for the Dire. They have brought the net worth lead down, back down to this 6k now. And, you know, Yam's well on the way to the first Ultimate Orb of the Skadi. Jack being a bit greedy here and just going straight into the eggs. It has the lens at least. Weirdly had another lens queued up, but that's the peculiarity of disassembling, I guess. Carl has Blink now. Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. And he's going into the Basher. So, yeah, pretty good. Well, he did opt for the Rolling Thunder duration that the Shield Crash cooldown in Ball, so I guess we won't be seeing him go for an Ags anytime soon. We'll leave them a little bit lighter on the disarms. But I guess, you know, he's probably expecting this Medusa will go BKB at some point anyway. Carl finds Nick. Yeah, no, Carl was the one who found Nick, I think, here. Out comes the Medusa ult. And Chris then just brings down Nick. Carl gets stoned over there though, but Vlupius got knocked up the hill by it, and now Yam's feeling pretty isolated here. Certainly is out of mana. Rich has used the ult, but I don't think Rich is going to get too much done with it. And meanwhile, coming into the back, Chloe just kills Vlupius on the hill. And now Jack's charging in. Radiant, Dire on full retreat. They do have another split if they need to fight, but Yam doesn't really have the mana for that, and they are 2 heroes down, so there's no way that they're looking to fight here. Chris almost at the blink now. Johnny has his own Manta. Dragonlance Manta, almost, you know, 1 piece off BKB, so way ahead of this Medusa now. Heading down to the bot lane, has that ultimate orb for the first piece of the Skadi. Skadi obviously very good against Medusa. Flip side is, you know, Drow Shard is basically a mini Skadi. Well, regen reduction, I guess. It's not really, but if we reduce attack speed, it would be. Wow, that Roshan has gone down quickly. They put it onto Gianni and they immediately smoke. 250 gold from his BKB. They're going to find Nick again. But actually, Vlupius with a good hoodwink. Oh, must have, maybe one of those must. Yeah, one of those will have been the decoy. I presume they're just going to take this top tower here. I think as Dire, you just have to let them have it. I don't know what timing you're playing for now. Like, if you've got the brain for it, I think buying Brew Shard would be smart here. I don't have the brain for it. Like, I don't play enough Brewmaster at the moment to be able to manage an extra Brewling right now. But I can tell you that objectively it will be very good. The AoE disarm very good. Yeah. Oh, we've got a dog visiting us. Hello, dog. Do you want to come up? Yeah. And they're just harassing high ground a bit. Maybe they're going to poke a little bit. I don't think they want to, but maybe they need to force people home. They're just going to get the last tier 2. How long on the Aegis? 3.5 minutes. So yeah, get this last tier 2 and then maybe have a look at high ground, perhaps. Rich is pushing the spot tower in, though. He's in Earthbrawler, so that's the armor one at the moment, I think. Chris TPing down. Oh wow, the whole Radiant team is TPing. Good blink. If they can just disengage from this without Radiant getting anything, which it looks like they're gonna. Not bad, not bad. There's not really any objectives for the Radiant team to take here, so they just moved away from the objectives they want en masse in order to fail to kill the Brewmaster. So that's really sick. They do at least defend the tower, so obviously it's not all Dire. And in fact, you know, comparatively little is going Dire's way here, so. Yeah, Samuel in chat saying I think they need to let Yam get some of these kills. Look, I do agree, but it feels like they're struggling enough to get the kills. I don't think you can, like, particularly screw around deciding who should get the last hit. You just have to make sure you get the kill as quickly as possible, I think, with the position Dire's in. Radiant now charging up this bot lane, but they don't have Gianni with them, so they're probably not going high ground, to be honest. Maybe Chris is... Oh, maybe Chris is just going to send the 3 Phantasm Illusions up. That would be perfectly reasonable. He's going to have an overwhelming blink... Sorry, tremendous blink soon as well, so... We do stall it out a bit, and Gianni is now arriving. Dire just kind of acting like they don't need to worry about this, but they're probably about to have to. If not, it's kind of a waste that Gianni walked all the way here. Cool trick that Pizza taught me. Just whack a sentry here as Radiant. Takes, what, like 8 or 10 hits or something for the tower to kill it, and if a Dire hero steps up and tries to hit it quicker, just absolutely murder them. And obviously the point is the tower hitting the sentry gives you vision of the tower, so you can attack uphill blind. Yam no lance versus Drow, exclamation mark. Yeah, I mean, I guess that Yam will want one, but, you know, there's a lot of things that they want, I think. And, you know, Manta very important, Skadi clearly very important. Micro the courier through the top side in order to get it home. Nice. So that will be a finished Skadi. So, you know, I think they now can fight quite well. Has Nick got his BKB? Nick's got his B. Yeah. I think this Skadi arrives. It's probably go time for Dyer. I think at that point you have to try and take a fight. You have to try and give yourself a way to get out of your base. Oh, cheeky force staff. Wait, whose force staff was it? Oh, it was Emma's. Emma messed it up. Emma force staffed out, not in. I thought that was an aggressive force staff. Ah, feels bad. Nick using the blast rig gets it triggered by Chris's illusions though. And Chris still does have the real phantasm. Hoodwink gets off the bushwhack. Johnny's still prodding. 10 seconds left on Aegis. That Aegis time is going to be important. I don't think they can use it in time, so they are just going to back off. Nora, disappointed, is growling at the screen. Aegis expires. Minimum motion 2 minutes 55. Shard into butterfly. Okay, so we're not getting this lance. I think Stephen's point is that, you know, you want to match the Drow in range, or at least not be horribly outranged by her. But yeah, I do think it's hard to get all these items you want in this game position. Chris has the spider legs. He's going on to Rich. Rich gets lifted in the follow-up. And he's going to go down without getting off the split, despite the fact he was in Stormbrawler, so 30% evasion. Presumably, Radiant now are going to read this as they can hit high ground. If there's no brew, then I think you can do so pretty comfortably. Oh, they placed the sentry, the obs in order to create an opportunity, but they do get onto Chris. They use the buyback. Carl gets a nice in, and they get a good jump, and Nick dies without using his BKB. They do, however, manage to dispel the Phantasm. You still got Nick rolling on the Carl rolling on the back lines. They do bring down Chris though in response, and Carl's ult is now down. They've lifted the Drow up. They're going to be setting up to go on this Drow, but Drow's just going to BKB TP. Not TP. They're going to try and fight this. They've got another split though, and this BKB is now too short. Meanwhile, Jack caught on this side. I think this is exactly what Dyer need, as long as they can get this Drow. Yep, they're going to get the CM as well. Drow's still trying to run away, but just keeps getting stunned. And this is going to be a 4-for-1. Yeah, Carl does escape. I don't think they're going to chase him down. But wow, what a great and important fight for the Dyer. Good buyback from Mitch there. Obviously had to do it, I think. Just imagine if Nick had got his BKB off, how good that fight would have been. Obviously, I think he was a little bit surprised by the speed at which the CK moved onto him after the stun. But yeah, that's exactly what they need, and that's a big influx of gold. 1,200 gold onto the Medusa, 800 onto the Brewmaster, 700 onto each of the supports. And that, you know, that's just popped the... Juice is now only 1,000 behind the Drow. Huge one, that. Carl rolling through to just delay this push a little bit. And, you know, able to do so pretty safely because there's no kind of instant grab for him. Jack TPing out now as well. So they're not going to try and pressure high ground. They don't think they've got time. They're going to see if they can get a second tier 2, which I think is a reasonable decision. Nick is now going to go back for this S and Y. He does very much seem to like this on Razor. I mean, certainly nothing wrong with it as well. The status resistance pretty good. The move speed pretty good. There's only not game sounds, Stephen, when I tab out for a moment. Otherwise they're on, but they're quite quiet, because I have them quite quiet. I'll tell you what, I'll turn them up 2% just for you. I mean, it says 2%, but that was actually me turning them up 25% when you think about it, 8 to 10%. Carl lost a contact, but I'm guessing he's sorted it out. And then Rich needs to wait a second. Or is that G lost a contact? Stephen Weirdpaper. Whatever that means. You'll make me back chest again. Yeah, so actually, 4K the net worth leads down to now. That fight was crucial for Dyer. I'd probably suggest not saying sorry G if you're explaining why you're pausing, because that G is going to be understood by anyone as go.
A battle seeks resolution.
Your reputation precedes your...
What a surprise.
Anyway, right, is there anything we haven't talked about right now? We've got the Basher now. It's going into Glibner, should I? Wait, why? You've only just bought this Maelstrom. What? That just seems terrible to me. Weird paper. Sandbags. I don't know. Something. I'm grumpy about that. Not just because it's Glibner, but also I don't quite understand a late Maelstrom. Chris, I think, must have finished his Tremendous Blink and is going to look at an AC next, and then a Bloodthorn. Do enjoy that on CK. There's going to be a Butterfly out soon on Gianni, so that's going to be a lot more damage. And, we've got this Lens Ag, so we're just going to queue up another Lens. Actually, we're buying Shard, though. Meanwhile, M's going for Lotuses. Already has Glimmer Force. Glimmer Force Lotus, that's just such unselfish support play, and also Lotus is just a great item, so... Yeah. After that, probably an Eon Disc would be sensible, I think, and your Shard. Both of those tools are very good against CK. Rich, still working on this BKB, has had to take a bit of time out from farming.
Double damage.
Getting down close to it now, though. Peter, Force, Etherlens, going for another Glimmer Medallion. Okay. And Yam, working on the Butterfly as well. So we're going to see two carries with Butterflies. Difference is obviously that actually Drow's big damage, which is the marksmanship, has an innate true strike to it anyway. So Drow is going to find it easier still to hit this Medusa than vice versa. But there's also going to be, a phase in every fight where Drow can't do that. So good use of the Medusa ult, I think, is going to be crucial for these fights. Oh, Peter's going to go down here. Gets grabbed. Can't miss the swash, but it doesn't matter. Hey, if people are going to call out every fucking spear I miss, which is most of them. And they're just using that to secure their way into Roche, who's going to respawn in 10 seconds, just as they walk away. I presume that they're going to take the outpost, then check again. I would hope so. Nope. The big guy's here, lads. Big guy. Big rock guy. Brackets, not tiny. They get the steal onto Nick's Q. That's one Jack's going to be able to pretty reliably get, and it's it's pretty good on Rubik. 270 base damage at max range. Oh, they've spotted out the Medusa. So the Roshan now, as planned, and it's going to go down pretty quickly. They get a Spell Prism as well. Very nice for the probably the Pango. Maybe Chris will feel like he wants to keep it himself, because, it's a hero that likes to buy Octarine, and he doesn't want to buy Octarine in this game. So, yep, looks like it. Pick up the Shard. Anyone not got Shard? Chloe, I guess. Oh no, Gianni doesn't have Shard. Give him Shard. Please. Yes. Good. So again, next fight's going to be a little bit harder again for the Dire, but, I think they're now relatively comfortable taking this game later. I don't think they can be too far behind, but they aren't at the moment. This is kind of a tolerable distance behind, if you ask me. Do we have the Reality versus Spell Immunity? We do. Yeah, I think that's the right one here. so he can still just kind of reliably try and blow Nick up in these fights. Nick's going to need an armor item. It's got 28 armor, but I don't think that's enough. Wow, opts with a plus 21% Storm Surge move speed. Not the most common talent, that I think. It means with this SMY he's going to have permanent haste at speed, but... Well, except when he gets slowed by anything, but... Uses him. He's going to go on Jack. Grabs the DD as well. Jack has this axe, but isn't managing to find a second spell to steal. But does live there, so, you know, not too unhappy. Nick at least didn't have to BKB. Has the Trickster's Cloak, which is going to help him live a lot against the CK. But the CK is going Bloodthorn, let's not forget in the long term. Oh, they did actually just not go for the Tremendous Blink in the end, fair enough. They smoke up, they scan on the high ground, look, see if they can find anyone there, but there's no one up there. Chris taunting away. And he's just revealed the smoke, but they're not going to find anyone with it anyway, I think it's their calculation, so certainly don't mind too much. No hint as to what Journey's thinking next. Meanwhile, Yam is thinking Daedalus and Satanic. That Daedalus probably needs to be an MKB though, I think. Has the ninja gear. I want to make sure the smoke is used, because the smoke is such a key element of that item. You know, 25 agi, nothing to sniff at. But, like, there's a reason smoke is so expensive, right? And well, not expensive, rather, has so few charges per... Has a very long cooldown between when you can buy them. Words are hard. It's because smoke is a very good effect. So being able to use it on yourself every 45 seconds is fantastic. Okay, Radiant pinning Dire into the base now. I swear G's getting hit by that a million times an hour. And then just gets hit by another one as well. Peter clearly out to upset him. But, you know, Peter's... You know, he's gone for proper support utility items, so he isn't doing too much damage. And they're kind of picking out this wave here that's pushing in. Double wagons, lots and lots of creeps. I don't think it's going to kill that tower, but it's going to do a lot of damage to it. Next wave probably arrives in time as well. I mean, they've already taken a tier 2, so both teams have, obviously. With where Radiant are, if they hadn't taken a tier 2, that would be peculiar. What have we got now on Jack? Oh gosh, that's a nice set of spells. Mystic Snake, Bushwhack. It'd be really cool, actually, if Rubik could choose to drop spells. You know, choose which one to keep. Probably overpowered? Don't know. Well, Jack loses about half his health there to various Bushwhack-related shenanigans, I think. And Yam's actually just found, very sensibly, I've got to add, using the smoke, good, just found their way out onto the map to just go and farm. Yeah. And it's top net worth. That's pretty significant. And, you know, let's not mess around. Hasn't died yet either in this game. In a game with 56 kills, the Medusa hasn't died at all. Yam doing a good job here. But they do now lose a lane of Rax while I'm off watching Yam farm, so ignore me. BKBs come out on both sides. Nick gets a good link onto the Drow, but he's used his BKB, as has the Drow. Dancing around with the Trickster's Cloak, which fools Chris for a little while, but there is a sentry down, so they are gonna find their way onto the Razor. Yam gets a nice ult off. They've already used all of the Radiant ults. Chris trying to wail on this Medusa, but not having too much luck, I think. That said, is at least mitigating a lot of the damage output this Medusa can do. Rich, you can dispel that. Yep, he does so now. And that's going to be both deaths on that. And Carl did die as well. Oh no, it's a lift up from the Panda. So they're going to get Chloe as well. And this actually just cost them a Nick buyback and nothing else. And all they lost was that first death on Nick. And they get 4 again. Nick gets a triple kill for the cost of his buyback, so he's probably not too unhappy. Wow. I mean, this game definitely can go either way now. You know, Radiant were definitely in a commanding position for a good while, but a 4-5k net worth lead and 1 lane of Axe. At this point, doesn't matter that much. Yeah, and Gaben agrees with me. 55-45, it's anyone's game, this. Interested in chat now. 45 minutes in chat. Who's going to win? And why? So buyback out from Jack now. Net worth leads. Any buybacks they have to use, it's just going to shrink the net worth. What are these heroes doing here? You're not wrong. You guys should just be going high ground. And I'll add, again, Yam still hasn't died. Very much, you know, rising to the occasion on this Medusa hero. Has a backpack Crystallis. I do wish this was going to be an MKB, but wow, gets caught there without mana shield on. Presumably some kind of fat finger accident or something. So Crystal's half of Yam's health, but you know, they are disengaging, still has a full mana pool at the end of the days. Oh, but Radiant come charging out. They can smell blood. And I think the blood they think they can smell is Vlupius. And they glyph near him. Good Force Staff, double Force Staff. Out comes the Rolling Thunder. But Cole's wise to where that took. The Lotus comes out, so reflects the stun, reflects the lift, reflects the snake. Oh, but Nick's running in from the side. Chris immediately BKBs. Nick running away from the side now. With the permanent hasted kind of situation. Lifts himself up. Uses the BKB in response. Gets dragged back by Chris though. Still running, but he's going to go down. And that's Nick's dieback. So this is a really big timing for the Radiant now. They probably need to take a second lane of Axe here to be comfortable that they're going to win the game. Otherwise, Dire still a very good chance, I think. Yeah, network, like win probability 60-40 still. Somewhere 39. But you know, it's not like you're talking 80-20, 90-10 or anything like that, which feels right, you know. Dire in a decent position. They've got all these splits. They've got, you know, what is a very far Medusa, albeit without an MKB for the butterfly, but you know, still going to put plenty of damage out on the rest of the team. Carl going to the Abyssal now, help them on the side. And we actually saw in that last fight, you know, Chris, I think, had 2 illusions hitting a Medusa with him. And he just didn't seem to be doing any damage. I think a lot of that's probably the butterfly effect. Throws a stun at Rich. Rich blinks it. Snake goes out and just completely mitigates the damage the Swashbuckle with the Diffusal did. But they are going to get the tower down. So M's about to respawn. The question is whether Dire think they can fight this 4v5. Or, I don't know that they can, to be honest. Yeah, they're just going to lose the second lane, I think. No? Chris's BKB out. The Death Wall gets cancelled by the Pango Swashbuckle, and then the multi-shot very nearly kills. G's going to try and get those last couple of hits he needs on the Vax here, and he's going to be able to do so. So that is going to be the second lane down. Just quick checking on chat. No one saying anything, Sag. So no one wanted to make any predictions about who's going to win. Talking to myself. Well, at least it's intelligent conversation, smile. But then this is YouTube chat. I find a class of person than Twitch chat. And you know, that's a very, very English thing to say. Going for Yules on Chloe. Seems reasonable.
I'll take that.
I'd like to see some Eon discs on some of these supports. Jack's got one. Jack knows what we're talking about. That said, he doesn't have a blink, so you know, maybe he doesn't. Yeah, they're going for more Lotuses. I mean, yeah, you can reliably Lotus the CK stun here. You can use it to take disarms and silences off people. Oh, I think Chloe just dies before this fight starts. No, just gets to walk away. They're just running at Jack instead. Carl in with the roll. What did that fear effect there? Can someone tell me what feared the CM? Because I have no idea. Something does a fear in this game, apparently. Oh, Cinderbrew. Nick's going to go down and Carl's also going to go down, I think. Oh, maybe Nick doesn't. My god, playing with fire there. But Nick gets a triple kill. They've got Chris as well. Chris is out of position. They're going to get the Dispel on the illusions, I guess. Yep, they got all the illusions, so Chris doesn't actually get the burst off. He gets stunned as well. They've brought back on Carl, though. He comes in with a roll, but Chris is going to go down before that happens. And out comes the next split. So Chloe's going to have to buy back as well. It's actually a net worth lead now in favour of the Dire. Rich running up the hill with the split, but I don't think he's going to be able to follow that through. They're going to take this tier 2 for definite, though. And Rich is going to buy a refresher for more splits. And, you know, Dire not in a bad place at all. Nick's had to TP home. Obviously, he was at about 20 health. But it does mean he's also there to deal with the 2 lanes that are pushing into them. Question is whether they think they can go high ground. Their read is that they can't. I think that's probably the correct read. But can they Roche? We're going to check this Roche. Volupia sees it, and it's got a refresher on it. Oh my god, that's more splits. Guys, Roche. This could be potentially huge. Wow. And they've got the finished deadlist now as well onto Yam. And guys, Yam still hasn't died. Thank you very much, Sean, in chat. And yeah. Samuel, I read what you say, yeah. Steven says he likes Dire's chances because he rates Deucer. Keats says go red team, and Sam says GG. Yep, Yam's just going to bring down this Roche. Has Mana Shield turned off? Turn it on, please. You don't want to risk getting caught. Yeah, Velopius. Peter, mate, you're going to... They've just left the cheese behind. Can someone pick up that cheese? Yeah. But please give that to your Brewmaster hero. I know he's got... actually, I don't know. Is 6 splits overkill? 6 splits might be overkill. Maybe you put it on your Razor instead, then. I don't think Peter should have it, though. He's going to hand it over to the Brew. No. Please. This is so good. Give it to someone with a BKB. There we go. Sorry. So actually, now we're talking 5k net worth lead for the Dire. What does Gaben think of the chances? Gaben's favouring Dire, 54%. First time in the game, I think he's done that. Except, well, very briefly at the start, 51.49. Peter farming way up here. Going for Travs next. Grumpy. Not sure that's right. They are looking at pushing into bottom, but, you know, there's a CK Phantasm set with some Siege Wagons going top. So they need to make a decision about whether or not they're going to do this. Quite hard for them to do so. She's gone for the multi-shot wave instead of the marksmanship chance. Don't know. I can see arguments for both. I always see arguments for both of them. I think they're both really quite good talents. He's taken all the multi-shot talents, so I guess. But just 12% marksmanship chance feels like a lot. Particularly when you're playing against a butterfly. Oh, which talents have we got on the... I presume it's split shot modifier, so I don't think there's any other choice. Stone Gauge duration seems pretty good, yeah. Yeah, all those talents seem great. Nick opts for the attack speed rather than the static link charges, which again seems perfectly reasonable to me, I think, here. Rich with the Cinderbrew Fair. Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe the Drunken Brawler passive on Brewlings would be cool, particularly when you've got the health on them. But yeah, the Cinderbrew Fair looks pretty cool, so I don't know. CK has the Chaos Strike chance. Yeah, makes sense, I think. Rolling Thunder Corner, again, makes total sense on the Pangolier. Yeah, I'm looking for something to bitch and whine about, because, you know, that's my favourite habit, but can't really argue with too much of this. Yeah, I think that's a pretty cool talent as well. Maybe you can have an argument there, but I'm not going to. I feel like I'd be doing that for the sake of it, particularly when I've just said what I said. You know, maybe a little bit gratuitous. Bushwhack Radius sounds awesome. Yep, and your Acorn Short's doing like 20 damage here, so... Just pushing this in now. But they do, you know, they are getting pushed in through the bot. And that Deuce of Illusion's not going to make it there in time. So they're probably going to have to send someone home now. Spellsteal goes out, but... Yeah, is that response? The Lotus means that, you know... Yam's just reflecting everything thrown at them. Actually, this is a good fight position, but Yam doesn't have a BKB, so Yam's going to get wailed on hard here. Does, of course, have the Aegis, though. Out comes the ult. They're trying to isolate on the backline, but actually that was just Phantasm illusions, and Chris, meanwhile, is on half health, running away here. Out comes the Phantasm. They're hard onto this Deuce, and this Deuce is just dead. Again, though, does have the Aegis. Rich going to have to use another split. Gets off just in time. Almost died there. They bring down Jack. Emma's in real danger, though. Does have the percentage health rolling, though. Yam's completely out of mana, though. I think Yam's going to go down in response here. G is stood on Yam. Just step back a bit. The Satanic comes out, but so does the Freeze. And meanwhile, Dias Tower's taking damage here. So they are going to get 3 kills. They do get Rich away, they do get Peter away. And we only saw a buyback from Jack, so that was a 3 for 1 in the other direction. Oh my gosh, the Glipnir comes out, but because it's a trash item, Peter still TPs away. Oof. Wow, let's have a look at the damage output there. So yeah, the Drow kind of got a free hit, did a lot. Medusa did almost as much though, but the difference is, you know, just a bit more damage from the supporting cast otherwise. And that's a fight won through the Aegis, through the use of the Refresher on the split. Don't know what happened to the Refresher shard. I guess someone must have used it there, but yeah, not happy about that. Radiant coming charging up the mid lane. Going to see at least 2 of these buybacks come out. And even the game back up again. M's buyback comes out, Yam's buyback comes out. Remember, that is Yam's first death of the game. And seeing those buybacks, Radiant respond by running away. So a cool thing you can do on Brewmaster is get something like a heart, right? And while you're in your Primal Split, I mean, with Old Heart, you know, when it used to cancel on damage but heal a lot more, your Primal Split, if you had a heart, you could Primal Split on 20% health and come out on full health again, which is a pretty neat thing. I think we're going to see 60-minute items here. Net worth lead 1k for the Radiant are very even. Oh, I put you down before. Now you want back on my lap again. Just accidentally kicked Nora because she's just hanging around my feet. Silly puppy. Yep. Just give a quick moment of Nora Cam. Nora Cam. Hi everyone, I wanted to be on stream. Nora Cam is now off again. So I think Radiant now reading this as the Deucer buybacks used, so this is our time to control the map, which is of course exactly the correct read. This is their time to control the map. They have the buyback advantage, and Drow's ahead of the Deucer again on net worth. Going to the Swift Blink now, presumably to replace the Power Chest, has their own Satanic. I think it's probably a mistake not to have a Skadi on the Drow here. Interesting what chat thinks. But it would seem like Skadi on Deucer would be... Sorry, and Drow would be good here against the Deucer. Skadi just a generally good item against Medusa, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe Carl could buy it, or maybe Chris could have bought it somehow. Don't really know where they'd fit in, though. But yeah, I'd like there to have been a Skadi somewhere. Oh! They put the E on disc. Ignited Cinderbrew causes the fear, but Chloe, I think, has the... flicker, so it's going to somehow escape. Crispy, no, it does go down. Crispy KB running away, uses the Phantasm, turns around onto the Medusa, but the Lotus out again. These Lotuses are doing major work, and Carl, you know, did get stopped in the path of his ult. Oh, but ult still causing chaos. Chris does go down though, and Carl's ult is out, and now Gianni's going to get isolated. Nick's got around the side of him as well, actually. And it's going to be a team fight in the other direction. They do have the buybacks. And Peter's going to TP home to deal with the push in, but wow, swings back the other way again. Now Gabe's back to thinking this is nice for the Dire, I think. Gabe thinks it's all on the line though. Just keeps ticking up, but percentage is still going. Look at that percentage increasing. Where's it going to stop? Tick. 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 We'll check in with the ticks in a moment. That's 3 buybacks out. And now Dire are going to decide they're going to run away and presumably wait for the Deuce sub buyback. I think... I feel like Deuce needs a BKB somehow. But also I really think it needs an MKB. I don't know. Has consumed an X though, so that's pretty poggers. Poggers. What's wrong with me? Too much exposure to Steven, probably. Yeah, I'm not sure how I finished that build. Not sure how I finished either of these carry builds. This is, this is what I need you for, chat. I don't do carry builds. Always been the weakness of my captaining. I'm just not so like if there's a specific item that's very good, I will insist on it. But in general, I'm not great on carry builds. Right, so first the tier 5 comes out. It's a Force Boots found by the Radiant. Wouldn't shock me if the Drow wanted that, but for now, Carl's not going to use it either. Yeah, sensible. I think it should be on the Drow. But right, Jack's using it right now. Should go on the Drow because the Drow wants to replace the boots with the Swift Blink. Overwhelming Blink comes out for Chris. Oh, Apex for Yam. And an Ex Machina for Nick. Oh my god, use the X. Just use the X. And a Force. Oh my gosh, Dyer hitting the lottery there. Use the Ex Machina, Nick. Nick, use the Ex Machina. Boo. Could for Overwhelming Blink and BKB, but it's not exciting. Oh, Mirror Shield out for the Radiant though. They're back in the lottery. Mirror Shield goes on to Chris. Probably better on Pango if you ask me, but whatever. What's the third one that Radiant got? Oh, Stygian Deso for the Drow. Yeah, pretty good. Meanwhile, Dyer... Oh, no, Radiant to find a Book of Shadows. They need to use that. Book of Shadows is super poggers. Poggers, Christ. Oh, they get the Ex Machina. Right, Radiant just won neutral item lottery. They got Ex Machina and Mirror Shield. They get the link onto Chloe. But is Nick overexposed himself here? No, he's not. He just managed to limp away. Probably because Chris wasn't there, Chris in the top lane. Chris probably a little bit sad he didn't get Giant Tongue, but he's got an Ex Machina, dude. You know, that's double BKB, double Bloodthorn, double Overwhelming Blink. You get one every 25 seconds, a fight's going on. Can't complain about that. Nick is now using the Ex Mach as well. I mean, it's just so good. Oh, Stygian Deso comes out for... Is that better than Apex, though? I don't think it really is. Oh, and Pyra has, well... yeah, Radiant win neutral item lottery bundles, because they don't really have... Like, I don't think Dire really have the ones for the supports to use in the same way. Like, someone really needs to be using the Force Boots, but... The Apex and X-Mac aren't really that exciting elsewhere. Like, maybe, like, Rich should have permanent trade in this Flicker for the Force Boots, because they are just better. Okay, Lup's going to use the Stygian Deso because he can apply it reliably. I think that makes sense. But yeah, I don't think there's any call for M to use an Apex. I think that would just be a huge waste of time. 55 armor on CK. What have we got then? Deucer needs MKB. Yeah, you've got to drop boots to them. Okay. Stygian on Drow is nutty. Okay, I thought it was just kind of good, but yeah, nutty. Fair enough. Chloe gets the linked, but you know, Nick's had to use his BKB. The flip side is, yeah, he just gets the X Mac and have a brand new BKB. Lol. Talk about commitment. 55 armor on CK. I mean, yeah, 55 on Vaser. CK only has 48, dude. Reading, Monka. Roshan up. Both teams know about it, but obviously the thing they're going in favour for Radiant for this Roche fight is that Dai has to deal with these waves. Probably send Peter to do it, because he's got these traps. But Jack hanging around thinking about whether he can push them in quicker. He's got a Hex now as well. Jack has really nothing kind of to play defensively with his Eon Disc. Like, often Blink's quite a good one, because you can frequently find yourself from finding a Blink out of the Eon Disc. And, it, you know, obviously it's got aggressive potential as well. But I guess he has the Force Boots at least. Force Boots, of course, not telling you can use them on other people, because they didn't update the tooltip when they made that change. DD bot, Nick hasn't spotted it yet. He probably will do in a second now. Both sides just trying to keep an eye on the Visham. That is a fast attacking Medusa illusion. Rich hanging around the mid lane. Yeah, I mean he's a big boy. But still isn't using Force Boots, despite the fact he's got boots in his backpack. Feels weird, champ. Also, he could backpack the refresher and swap it in between splits quite comfortably. You swap it in when you use the second split, and you'll have our cooldown for the third. They find Carl, but Carl gets the roll off. They find Chloe as well, but Chloe does limp away with the Glimmer Cape, and now Nick's in serious danger, getting smacked into by the Drow Ranger, but does use the Yules, and now Yam very sensibly comes charging in with this. Gianni in real trouble. They've got the Drow on top of her. They've got the... Oh, but the stolen Stone Gaze. The Satanic comes out. But, you know, Jack is going to go down here now. And Gianni's going down as well. But Chris putting out a bunch of damage onto the Deucer. Isn't gonna do it in time. And actually, that's a dieback for Gianni. And Gianni's... doesn't have the gold or the cooldown. And I think that's actually just game in favour of the... Wow. Wow, this game has been stressful. But I think that should be congratulations to the Dire team, Dig. You gotta dig though. That snake just gave 600 mana from hitting one person. So they're gonna bring Jack down here, I would imagine. Carl rolls up, gonna try and use it to stall, but I don't think there's any way he stalls long enough, and actually he's just losing all his health. Oh, Nick takes some hits. And I think that's game. Right? I think, yep. Wow. That was pretty exciting, I think. Pirate Hat on Razor is insane. It was on the Medusa though. Whew. Wow. Well, that was knackering to solo cast as well. I'm going to quickly show you some graphs, then I'm off to get a vodka. And have a piff. And get some chocolate. Probably not in that order. Nick did the most damage in the game. Wow. He did, like... Gotta say this for Nick. He did just keep turning up in fights from weird directions. I mean, being in weird places is, you know, it's basically a requirement of being Nick. But he very effectively just kept coming into fights from the side. And that's what you want to do, right? If you don't have this blink, you want to come into fights from the side on Razor. So, yeah, got to give him a lot of credit for that. He's done a very good job with it. Yam, though, only dies once. I think that's crucial there. And, you know, very much does carry the late game of that. In part just by being so goddamn tanky. Yeah, they get some great splits off, dispel a bunch of the TK illusions. And Chris probably feeling a little bit let down there. I think Chris had a very good game. But, yeah. Team just kind of ran out of damage at points. And I think CK is part of why they ran out of damage, but, yeah. Right, well, if anyone would like to join me for the Game 2 cast, I would very much appreciate this. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you some kind of splash screen, probably this one. We'll put the score on it as well, because, you know, I'm feeling extra fancy. There you go. You got a splash screen and the score. Can't complain, can you? And I will see you shortly.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
Sorry, I had some weird dance music going on. Was that playing on stream?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I just literally googled streaming dance music or something. Sorry, streaming music or something.
Yeah,
Right.
did custom want to cast?
Well, I don't know. I thought because it was going to be the first game, so I just wanted to make sure I had a
He's
co-caster.
here, yeah, you just can't hear him. He's really
Yeah.
quiet. He's like in the Discord room, am I
And I can see it flashing green. I just can't hear anything he's saying.
same?
Oh.
Hello.
Ah.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my god, there's loads of people. I can piss off if there's an abundance of Farley.
Well, I just want someone to talk to because casting a 65-minute game plus
Oh,
draft
yeah.
on my own was exhausting.
I don't mind, custom. If you wanna join in, it's all good. Cause
No. Right, we're back for game 2. And there's a draft. And I've got a Farley now. Both Farley and Custer kindly volunteered to help, but, you know, in the end, only one of
Yes.
them could survive.
I had an arm wrestle with Custard, and luckily for him, he lost. So we rolled for it.
Or did he win?
He did win, yes. So I'm punished by having to cast with Nathan. Unlucky.
Smile. Well, at least you can fill in the gaps on, you know, these carry itemization things that I'll spend 20 minutes ruminating on without ever concluding.
Sure. Yeah.
Do you expect
and just
any
stuff like- sorry,
ban? Oh, okay. So immediate change in bans. Then they're banning the Brewmaster this time, not the Necro. I think they banned, wasn't it last time?
I heard that. I heard it on. I think it was a DPC stream that they rate Axe as like a D tier offlaner right now.
Yeah, Axe isn't good, but it is very It's a bit like CK, right? It's a great punishing hero. Right.
Okay. I think it's easily countered in lane, and like you can pick around it really easily.
Yeah, you can definitely respond to it well and stuff like that. Absolutely. I still like playing it in ranked though because I just think it's quite.
Right. I just mean it's like first pick.
First
It's
pick
obviously
Necro.
a Chris hero though.
Yeah. The first bit Necro, so yeah, that's. I mean, that's probably going to be Carl playing that, isn't it? It doesn't feel a very
It's a
Chris
flex,
thing.
isn't it, as always. We've definitely had a lot more flexes this season.
Yeah,
like,
I
the
guess,
flex has
but-
come back.
I don't see Chris really wanting to play Necro. It's not very much his kind of thing. He can do, but So
Yeah.
clock for Peter.
Will G outbreak? Will G bring out the POS 1? Necrophos.
I think it's unlikely.
Very poggers. Very unlikely though.
Yeah,
He'll
I think
probably
so.
just play some agi ranged hero or Juggernaut.
5 seconds. Radiant's
Clockwork is a pretty strong hero right now. For sure. Feels really strong.
So they just decided to take both the
Definitely seen played
supports.
a lot.
I don't think that's bad, and I
Yeah.
think that's a decent support duo. And I think it can damage the Necro, right? You get a Vessel on the clock.
10 seconds.
You get a Maledict.
I mean, when you look at these two supports, like, do you see a weakness?
Probably
The
Wave Shove.
weakness-
They're a bit short on Wave Shove, and they don't really help you take like Roche or objectives.
Wave clear for like defending
Radiant's turret
towers.
Yeah, there's no really like low committal Wave Shove. Oh wow, they just steal the Medusa straight off.
it is done.
Okay, so
And then
that's-
they ban the Drow.
like I said though, I mean that's obviously a Yam hero, so you get 2 for 1 there. I mean, I remember picking Drow versus Medusa, thinking it was like it feels like it matches up pretty well because you're effectively a sniper in the sense that
Seconds.
you can range
should
the Drow
outrange,
Medusa. So
Yeah,
whatever
it's
it
not
is.
like I wasn't by any means trying to say like it's just massively Drow favoured or anything like that. But it's a perfectly decent pick, I think, Drow against Dusa. And certainly, if you're thinking of a Yam hero they're going to pick as a carry against it, Drow will be the best pick, right? Because you're not going to pick Luna. Luna
No,
is
I mean-
very bad against Dusa most of the time.
No, but you can pick mean heroes and build like a diff. There's options. But most melee heroes are going to get kited by the Dusa, for sure.
And by Dusa Necro as well. Like, Jug is probably your best choice based on what you can
I
see right
think-
now.
I was going to say Jug is actually not bad against Dusa.
And you can combine it quite well with the clock, I think.
Because Jug is really tanky as well.
Yeah. And this, like, healing ward
Match.
cooldown talent I really like. And there's the spin build that's pretty good at the moment. And yeah.
Yeah.
10
I think Jug is the way to go. And I know Yam's been playing some Jug recently, so that's probably not a bad idea. But otherwise, I don't really know, carries that Yam plays regularly that I'd otherwise look for here.
Jug as well against Necrophos is pretty nice. With the spin build, like you said. What can Necrophos do against that? It's just not good.
Interesting they banned the Mars, because they could have played this here, and it's quite good against Medusa. Again, I was watching a pro game recently where Mars just spent the whole thing. Was it Ace who just spent like the whole game with Bulwark on and just mitigated a Medusa's damage all game?
Right. I feel like people forget to use that toggle on Mars a lot.
But also, just
Those-
like putting the pit in sensible places can block a bunch of Medusa damage and stuff like that
Yeah, just separate the Medusa from
from your team.
the team or your team.
Yeah. But yeah, they chose to ban it anyway, and they banned the sniper in this
Yam
one.
has played POS 1 sniper as well, hasn't she?
Yeah, so I think that's what that ban's about.
And kind of unusual to open with 2 cores on the Radiant.
But I don't hate it, particularly as first pick. But then these cores have both got the same vulnerability, right? Or well, a lot of the same vulnerabilities.
Is it me or is Dire on the bottom half of your screen? Is it
Yeah,
just me?
Dire's bottom half. Yeah,
Why is that?
don't know, but it always is.
Is it? I
Yeah.
thought-
So Necro, yeah, it's weird. Dire is
Okay,
bottom on
yeah.
this, and then like top for the rest of the game. But Necro and Dusa, like both quite immobile heroes, quite slow for a lot of the game.
Yes.
I feel like if Dire play it, they should run a core Cottle here.
Yeah, it'd be good.
Do a lot of hit and run. You can just use the blinding light to repeatedly keep the Medusa, out of playing fights well.
It's
Just
pretty
keep whacking
easy,
the W on the Medusa.
But
Razor.
Instead they opt for the Razor. Doesn't have a good time against Necro mid.
it looked like Nick was doing a good job last game. I mean, I didn't see every fight, but he
He
just
was, yeah.
needed. I mean, against the Drow, he just needed to link BKB and just stay on top of the Drow. And
Yeah,
then
and
like, eventually the Dusa is gonna one-shot the rest of the team or like kill the rest of the team and then catch up with the Razor.
He kept turning up in fights out of the middle of nowhere as well, which was quite interesting.
And people seem to pick Razor against Necrophos in lane. That's obviously probably not what we're gonna see here, but they can. Well, they can put Nick. They put Nick mid last game, so they just They'll probably just try and match up the Razor.
Okay, it's the
Well,
Necro.
they have the
It's not great
option.
though.
They can put it against the Medusa or the Necro. It's still good.
Is it good against Dusa?
Yeah.
Maybe with Avenge
If you
support.
can pull the wave back, if you can pull the wave back towards the offlane,
And you've got a
the
clock.
offlane tower,
Yeah.
then Andusa just can't like be anywhere near, really.
Yeah, because the clock as well, right? Yeah. If the
Yeah,
Venge
that-
was something like a Jakiro, I'd be a lot less kind of inclined to worry about that, to be honest.
I do like the Venge pick here. It feels so
Worse
nice
for
to have
laning,
swap
though.
on your team. Yeah, the lane's not amazing, but like it's so nice to have swap on your team. Like it's just initiation. It's a save. When you have these immobile cores, then it's just great to have.
That's probably a Jack snap, I would guess. Which says mid Necro to me. Because I think snap Necro sounds like a pretty trash lane.
Does Carl play snap mid?
Probably played a bit of it, but
I
they,
feel like
they, they need something mobile.
I honestly, can you play Dawnbreaker against Clockwork? Or is it just impossible?
Probably very hard. So the Jug comes out, yeah, so you're expecting as the Yam hero, the Jug.
I do like the Jug, especially into the Snapfire.
And for me, I think both teams should be missing their offlaner, but we'll see. They're probably both going to ban mids.
Everyone's last picking their offlaner.
Hmm.
Did you watch TSM versus Quincy?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
I was watching T1 and Fnatic this morning instead.
I love watching a Medusa.
Very annoying they all decided to spoil the result on Twitter with their shit talking each other.
Yeah.
They're still all such toxic people.
I had to random thing, but I had to unfollow OG on Instagram because every morning I'd wake up and I'd just get spoiled by games all the time. It was so upsetting. Because I used to follow all these teams on Instagram and then I just had to
Yeah.
unfollow them all. I think EG used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Alliance does the same thing all the time. But thankfully they're in Div 2, so
A loyal alliance.
Nothing.
Lol.
nothing to worry about there. What are they going to do? Spoil Div 2 games for me? Who cares?
Frankly, if I see that Alliance haven't won, it's kind of a funnier watch.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I better watch the VOD of that.
I'm so conflicted about Alliance because the organisation, I'm just a bit like, I enjoy taking the piss out of them because of how sensitive the management is. You know what I mean? And
Ellie and Loda, yeah.
yeah, and Nico Baby just seems like a bit of a prick. But I just love Weeha so much. He's so pure.
Was great, so yeah, I'm a Lions fan. Anyway, back to the IDL.
So they banned the Pango, which, as I was saying all of last year, I think Pango is just such a good hero right now. I can't really tell why it feels so good at the moment, but it really does, right?
It feels good, like it feels good as a 5 and a 4 a lot. Like it feels like you're
Gives a
getting
core
like
as well.
this POS 3's value in terms of team fight control just for nothing.
But I like it as a
Just-
mid as well. They
Yeah.
banned the Kotl.
Follow up is just incredible. Straight up.
I mean,
And,
either team, I guess, could have picked Kotl here and
I
been
think
happy.
the Pango ban is really good because I mean Pango did it last game, but Pango built the diff, and it's actually really good against Dusa because like you also get the disarms as well. It does mess up the Dusa's game. Dusa also doesn't want to build BKB, so
Yeah, I was saying in the draft last game, you know, while it's not the kind of meta thing to do, I feel like he should have gone Ags and the shield crash and ball talent and just kind of repeatedly disarm the Medusa all day long. No, the common build right now is the plus 3 second rolling thunder instead.
Right.
That's what everyone, like literally everyone, is doing in like every role.
Right.
But I feel like I want the extra disarms and the extra mana burns and stuff.
I think Pango deals well with Medusa.
It's my
so I
play
like that
style,
ban.
but yeah,
Cotton ban, like you said, it was
I think good for both teams. The
just don't understand.
What a
why you
weird
picked
draft this is. That's a Chrysler track, though.
that. Okay.
Which is kind of doubly weird, because it's playing into a Juggernaut.
Why do you say that so confidently? Because he
Because
wouldn't
Chris-
pick Necrophos.
Yeah, he hates Necrophos and he loves playing Leshrac. Do you not remember that season we played with Chris, where we just kind of like picked Leshrac all day long, and then if it was a bad Leshrac game, I'd play it
I
4,
don't
and if
know.
not, Chris would play it 3. But I don't like it here. I think it's going to get really punished by
I didn't
Clock and
see-
Jug.
I don't see any value in it here.
Bizarrely, I think I want to pick like an off-lane Nyx or something right now.
You're just making this Jugs game even easier.
Right? Seriously, like pick a core Nyx.
Yeah.
You stop Snapple. It's brilliant against Lesh and Necrophos and Medusa.
This is like the best Knicks game ever.
It's like the best Nyx game ever. Like, core Nyx might be trash, but if there was a game for it, it's this game.
Yeah, like we normally see Invoker as a counter to Medusa for the mana burn. You have the Clockwork, which is like I mean, you can't really
Tiny
consider that's
mana
not much of
burn.
a mana burn. Like it's
Yeah.
barely noticeable. But Nyx is a pretty significant mana burn because it scales with the int, doesn't it?
And it's like a 3-second cooldown.
Yeah, 4 seconds, isn't it?
Sure.
But you can get
You know, you can cast.
you can get a lot to improve that
Oh,
spell.
boo! Boo. I think that's honestly still okay, but it's.
So Nick is on Jakiro then, and it is
Yeah.
it'll be a cold Jakiro or
It's a core
Yeah.
Jakiro, we just don't know whether it's a 2 or a 3. Because they
I
could do
think
either
like
of
this
those.
Jakiro, I don't know if I like it as a core because I don't think it's. I don't think it. I mean, it's obviously a good game for Jakiro, but in the same way, I feel like they can kill the Jakiro pretty easily.
Core Jakiro is really popular at the moment, even in pro games, though.
There's-
It's so
there's
much
so much-
damage.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage. And they do have a really good group and push lineup.
And they can also
With
kite
the
out these
Beano
fights
Wars.
somewhat effectively, right?
So I think they should be taking like tier 2s quite early, whilst Medusa's map is going to get smaller and smaller. So I kind of like the fact that they picked like an early tempo. hero.
Yeah. To be fair, it's exactly what I was saying in the last draft. Like, on hero-to-hero matchups, Nyx is like a dream here. But it might be that, like, in terms of the overall flow of the game and so on, Jakiro might even be a better pick, because as you say, they can take a bunch of buildings, probably
Because,
helps them
like,
fight.
It's more fragile. Like it dies pretty easily. I feel in this against
I
that
don't
lineup.
know, you've got to get the Leshrac on top of it, and for a good few
Yeah, but you have
seconds.
swap, you have a lot of damage. You have
Yeah,
because
Swap's
Jakiro's
probably the one.
immobile, right? I feel like it's
It's
kind of
very
immobile.
slow, but yeah, quite high health,
So
yeah.
you have Cookie. Leshrac runs at like haste. You have swap and you have stuns.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and you're gonna get Scardia Medusa, and when you have Scardia Medusa, this Jakiro won't be able to just sit back and press Ice Path like you normally do on a support Jakiro.
Should in theory have like a
Which is-
razor in front of it though, and like a clock
Yeah.
disrupting things and stuff like that.
Anyway, pretty good pick though.
Yeah, I mean we can certainly see the merits, right?
Yeah. I just think these are pretty snowbally lineups on both sides. So my only prediction is it's probably like a 25-30 minute game.
Yeah, 25. Wow, do you think that quick? I
I
think
just think they can finish it really fast. This is a core Jakiro.
I think they
it's gonna
can,
get-
but I don't think we saw any evidence in the last game that they will.
Honestly, I'm really
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know.
We'll have to see. I
There
suppose
is
if it
this
goes
thing when
too
you
long,
get-
the Medusa is going to be a big problem. Particularly when Jakiro gets an axe and then Macropia starts to pierce spell immunity.
How does it explain?
Yeah, so it doesn't until you have the axe.
Yeah, I got confused.
I know, I'm just
I
being
got
an asshole.
confused because it was lingering on me, and I pressed BKB, and I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, it's because BKB doesn't dispel the linger that's already there, but...
it doesn't dispel the linger, but if the Jakiro doesn't have eggs, then
Oh, it should dispel, actually.
it stops the damage, but it doesn't dispel the effect. So the Jakiro
Weird.
just had eggs, and I didn't think about it. Anyway,
Yeah, so it's going to be Razor Necro mid lane.
So yeah, Chris Lestrak, like you said.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stats. He's going to click Yam a lot. And yeah, Jack Snap as well. And he started with this null tally again. It was a bit greedy, if you ask me. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, G start with 6 tangos.
Yeah, that's unusual. 6 tangos and quite a lot of stats, but no quelling.
Would you be doing quelling here if you were the Deucer?
I have basically just figured out my favorite item build for this patch as carry, and it's to go 3 tangos, quelling, stick, and 3 branches, and it just feels really good on like every carry hero, because you don't spend like the first 400 gold of your laning phase finishing your wraith band or finishing your stick. You just get like a pretty fast treads, and it feels quite nice. So yeah, that's what I would do every game. That's what I'm doing every game right now.
Fair.
Get a courier snipe bot from Lupius.
Makes the ultimate sacrifice.
He's got the same ward from last game. Oh, and he's going to get the other courier as well? No, he's not.
It's funny because, like, you know, like Vornabon knows that they have a ward there, like just by his movements, like was obvious. But you have no idea where it could be. It could just be anywhere.
Could be
this entire
here,
lane.
could be here.
Never even thought of
Yeah,
putting it on this
yeah,
cliff. That's just crazy.
So they get the side pull off in the top lane. So Chris is going to have a double wave under tower, and he should take it under tower because it's a double wave. But he is going to struggle to last hit under tower because he's a Leshrac.
Can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. He's got his Q.
Well,
but-
Floppy is just zoning G off the wave here.
Oh my god.
But
yeah,
Yam
Chris
has-
has missed every CS, bro.
Yam only has 3 last hits right now.
Oh, he missed that one as well. Okay, he got one. And taunts.
Chris is going to taunt like all year long. The single thing that upset Chris the most in the history of Dota is when they increase the taunt cooldown.
Dude, it used to be so annoying when he was playing Mars and he's just doing that stupid taunt. That's the annoying taunt in the game.
So yeah, I think we're going to see Chloe be given quite a tough time by Peter on this clockwork. You just cancel the salve with a really nice use of cogs there as well.
Bullying. This is workplace bullying. Rich playing a more passive style of Razor than Nicholas. Just sort of just sapping the damage and then CSing, which you know,
Well,
I
he can't like zone out in the same way because you know this is a Necrophos, not a Pangolier.
And yeah, I imagine he's going to leave the W at 2 points. Like he
I hope so. Well, I'd like him
said that
to get a 3rd point of Plasma Field here.
Yeah. You said that Jack's starting item builds are greedy, but he has only just eaten his first tango.
It's more than Null that just felt a little bit greedy and unusual. But he gets another
Yam
side
got
pull.
Boots coming. Has Yam got boots coming? What's this?
Oh dear.
Boots and tangos coming for Yam. She
So that's
just
pretty good. But they're getting so many side pulls, and Yam's really struggling to find much kind of headway at the moment.
Doesn't feel good, does it? This feels
No, but then that happened last game as well, and Yam died once in the whole game, so. Swings and
Oh,
roundabouts.
Jack missing
Yeah, they
the
did.
Q there, unfortunately. Unluckily.
Unluckily indeed. And Nick is putting some great pressure on G in the spot lane.
Indeed, he's incredibly aggressive.
It's a definite upside of his
Heroes.
playstyle, right? Yeah.
It is,
So he-
but the one thing you do notice is when you look at the net worth graph after the game, you notice he's not farmed, and he's just not hitting creeps normally.
He will do this game because he's a Jakiro.
This game he'll accidentally hit creeps because dual breath.
If you just press Q near a creep wave, you just kill everything.
As long as he stood near the creep wave, he's gonna start farming. So yeah, you're right. So you see, like G's like got a wraith band, and he would have treads right now if he started with like stick and quelling, I think. Which would be quite nice.
She's getting so bothered repeatedly by this Jakiro, who's
Oh.
also just rocking Raindrop, Ring of Bazzi Null, so has a billion mana regen. Oh my god, those cogs!
The snake bounce just
To be
kind of
fair.
ruined him. It bounced to the range creep, and then the range creep was just deniable. So
Yeah. The cogs are nice as well, but
Unlucky.
G does last hit 2 of them.
Top Jack is gonna go down. He's got Maledict on him. Oh my god, Yam, the damage onto Yam.
Oh, good healing ward. Does kill it, but that's going to be enough for Yam to live. And Jack lives as well. And now can M get run down? I think M could get... Yeah, I think M's going to get run down here.
I was quite surprised because that was... We're gonna get a bounce back. Oh,
Nope.
unlucky.
Yeah, and Chris off to another good start, I think, here. But Vich, 29 and 13 in this mid lane, doing pretty well as well. To be fair, though, again, like, Carl is still doing fine.
Carl's still level 6 and Rich is on, 60% life.
Yeah, he's got his
Carl
kind
just
of...
walking at him.
Did he die? No, he didn't. Nah, he's got a range up as well.
I think Carl correctly, Carl realized that he didn't have the mana for a Q and his ult.
But he needed that. Yeah, oh, Peter goes down in the bot lane, but... Weirdly, again, Nick has 13 denies in this bot lane, but Gianni's, like, last hits are still
he just
fine.
needed a stick. He just needed a stick, I think. If he can get level 5, this lane will literally switch back. He'll get like he'll get the 5 snake bounces and he'll be recovering his mana and it should be fine. He's really close. Vornabar's kind of sapping XP a bit.
I don't know, he's still quite harassable with, like... I mean, do you go 3-0-3 here? I think you probably go 3-0-3 on the Jakiro.
He's honestly like, no, what? 303 on what?
On
Oh,
Jakiro. Yeah, not on Medusa, mate, yeah. I think he's dead.
100% dead. Vornabar's just watching.
Well, can't do anything else, other than just give away another kill. Might do that anyway.
I think. Unlucky.
I think Peter should tank the tower a little bit, honestly. Yeah.
Lots of action.
They get
going on.
Yams Courier in the top lane. And then they get the Cookie into Scatterblast. Oh, Chris is coming in for the dive. Misses the stun, though. They use the glyph to get aggressive.
Nick takes the tower and is now TPing mid. Oh, Macropyre onto Carl.
Is not going to kill him, though. And as he said,
On Macropyre is so obnoxious then.
just turns up to steal Rich's mid-wave.
Mid-wave is gone.
Chris just run down Yam, and Yam's going to die here as well, because you can't... Yeah. And the Maledict isn't enough because of the raindrop. Oof.
Raindrop just carrying this game right now. G's having to jungle at level 5 with 1 point in Q.
Well, I mean, same situation Yam was in last game on the Medusa, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And that's Vornabar dead.
Unlucky.
Unfortunate. But I mean, G can go back to this bot wave now, right?
Yeah, he's got TP and 10, so should definitely push this wave out to the tower, and then... Well, you just see the Jakiro mid, so I don't think you're too worried.
No. Oh.
Gonna go Dragon Lance, which we saw Yam skip last game. I mean,
Cool.
Nick has got one mission right now, and that is to take this mid.
Oh gosh, they're gonna catch Chris on the side.
Chris.
Peter is so good at clock, man. Really good clock player.
Yep, clock.
Pardon?
Pardon?
I was saying Peter's really good at clock.
Yeah. Carl is way too low on health here to even get involved. He's just kind of wandering around, trying to passively heal. But
You got the
there's
tower
no
and Carl's in
dark
real trouble. Nah, he's got the W. He's okay. And the ice path just misses.
I think if that... You mean Jewel Breath?
Yes,
I think if
I
that
do.
Jewel Breath hit though, that may have... Would it have been enough?
Well, he's got a
340
hood.
Health?
He's got a hood.
Okay, yeah, try to be fine.
What's coming up for Vlupius now? Oh, okay. I was like, it's not a finished vessel, is it? Because if it's a finished vessel, then GG.
So, I mean, I was saying how like it's rough for G to have to farm with 1 point in Q, but Yam just has phase, and this is not a good jungling item. Like phase is not good for jungling.
No, treads are the jungle boots, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Needs to
So,
stack a camp
I
for 2
don't
inches.
know.
Oh, there is a stack camp next to
Spin it
them to
down.
spin, yeah. But yeah, once again, Chris is just like 800 ahead of anyone else at the end of the laning phase. He is just better at laning than a lot of people in IDL.
I don't think, yeah, but he put this so much damage. He clears stacks so fast. The balanced offlane heroes.
I mean, Leshrac is hardly a strong offlaner at the moment.
We got a sap mid. Dogbird.
Oh, and we've got some Gollops coming out. Dollops?
Absolutely
Oh,
dolloping.
no mana! No mana for the scythe? Oh, but Chris comes in from the side.
Catfish takes so much damage just getting slightly
Oh,
close
but-
to the Leshrac.
Nick just pressuring the tier 2 bot. That said, he's going Ether Lens on this Jakiro, and I'm really not sure why. This is not the common way to build the POS 3 Jakiro we're seeing at the moment.
No, what do you go? You go rich.
Everyone's just doing like the Witchblade thing, yeah. Witchblade Shard, maybe something else first, but
Force. Witchblade Force, I think, is common, isn't it?
I'd have to check. Like, I know Witchblade is kind of the key part of it though, right? And the Shard and the level 10 range talent, and
Yeah, that's right. You got the shard pretty early.
as soon as you can.
Lesh dying top. Over
Yeah,
below.
Like, it's just like Witchblade Shard. 25% of the time, Force Staff, and then just like Ags as well. I think I saw Chassis playing it for Into the Breach yesterday. In a game they won, POG, Division 2 Dota.
The Division 2 scene right now. Oh, amazing TP from Vornamar.
I can't believe that
Just
worked
gets
out, yeah.
Just gets out. Surprised G's not farming the Ancients right now. Like, there's this Razor right in her face.
Oh,
it's
oh,
gonna
they
get
found the hook!
Nice
And the
push
pushback, but I
back.
don't think they can kill this. Are they not just gonna die trying? Oh, the cask!
They do get the kill. And
Good
I'll die
cask.
as well. It's a disaster.
Oh, wow. Emma turning
That's
up just in the
unlucky.
nick of time. Yeah, when Vich knows it as well.
Talk
Man,
of
Vich
Nick,
is so wholesome.
wholesome by day.
Yeah, it might just turn out that he's actually just a really toxic person, just hasn't shown us that yet, but... Nick just tries to go up against the Gollop. The Dollops? There's a word I'm looking for. I can't remember.
The BMDC.
Globules. There we go.
Pause.
The globs.
Did you watch that? It was funny.
Yeah. Don't worry, it was caught on stream.
Fantastic.
Sometimes I feel like Nick is the EE, the eternal envy of IDL.
I feel like he embodies Russian Dota more than anything. He just divides.
He's just a force
He
for
actually
chaos.
just goes and doesn't think about anything. Lesh is taking a lot of space here. I don't know if this hero is so fun and just not getting involved. Kind of greedy. Kind of a weird champ.
Thing is though, Lesh can do a ton with this farm, right?
His middle tower is under attack.
So do it.
Oh, but the more farm the hero gets.
So never stop farming.
Well, just decide what your timing is, but it might not be yet. When we were chatting about the draft, remember? We were talking about as if Dire were more on a timer.
Yams is dying.
The Omni Slash though?
Drag it to the creeps. That was just... Didn't press the hood, I don't know why, just didn't want to do that, I guess. Unlucky.
Sometimes Hood's a passive item.
Sometimes it is. It's a good job against passive stats, or else a lot of people would be struggling with that item. G gets to farm the Ancients now.
Carl getting pressured here. They get the Maledict, they get the Death Ward, but he uses the W, so and activates his Hood, so he's going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah. Rich is 5-1 and has a DD.
I suppose my question about Chris farming as well here is, do you think he's taking space away from the carry, or do you think he's making space for the carry? Or do you think that sometimes it's doing both?
I think he's kind of doing both in a way.
Because when he had that top
he's-
lane all the way up there and then draw like 4 TPs, that's clearly creating quite a bit of space while farming, if you see what I mean.
But like the minute and a half before, he was just like farming jungle camps.
While the bot lane push was coming in and denying space from the Deucer.
4v5 bot basically.
Rich goes down though.
It's massive damage. Massive damage. I mean, he's level 12. Like he's doing insane amounts of damage right now.
That said, while Rich does go down, Nick's 5-year mission continues. But gets denied just as he finishes it.
I'm surprised he's not playing bot, honestly.
Yeah,
That's what
I thought he was about to TP bot, but he TP'd to the outpost instead from the top lane. I really thought he was going to TP bot and go at that tower again.
It's just a long way to have to like walk top, get that tier 1, and then go bot. Like you take so much pressure off the map.
Vlupius in on the Medusa, but the globs from the...
Stupid damage. Absolutely insane.
Yeah. Well, you can't get hit by like 5 snap globs, right? They're 160 per one, so he just took 800 magic damage.
It would
With
be
the
unlucky.
and then like 60 burn DPS on top of that, so that's another. So he took 1100 magic damage P resistance there probably from the snap, and then like a scatter blast as well.
I think Vornabar very nicely stacking the ancients for Giovanni.
1096 burst resistance, so yeah,
So,
spot on.
so now he's pressuring the top. He doesn't see. He should see heroes. Okay, he does see. He sees someone bot. Thinks twice about pushing the tower, but is smartly going to run away. Not sure if he knows that Razor has an invis rune or not. But
He's got a feeling that he's not safe, I
kinda
guess.
good, like, they're pulling heroes to the top lane. Whilst
And now he TP's
Deuce is
bot,
farming.
so it still gives Deuce. The one thing he is denying Deuce, right, is the farm coming in on the top lane.
And now the bottom
Because
lane.
but ideally, right, if you're Deuce at this point in the game, what's your ideal farming pattern? It's like from this camp and meeting the wave like somewhere around here.
Are you drawing
right.
something on the map?
So I'm pinging. Can you not see my
Okay.
pings?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So it's like from here to like here to like the triangle, right? That's like
You want
roughly the
triangle for
farming.
sure.
Yeah, but you
And-
ideally want the top wave coming to you every now and again, and maybe 1 or 2 camps in the top jungle.
Yeah, and then send your mantas like mid or whatever.
Oh, Jack has the shard. He gets the stun into stun into stun on Nick, and Nick's dead.
Nicholas is dead. What's
3k
he doing?
net
He's
worth
just got-
lead now.
He's just got a casual hood, or he's going
No,
for
he's
the...
going. Yeah, well, he's going hood, and then he's going. And he's bought his shard, and then he's going Witchblade. But it's going to be quite late Witchblade as a result.
Has the attack range talent as well.
And just look at the net worths now. That's a 2,500
insane.
lead than Leshrac.
Yeah,
And again, this is farm that you're perfectly happy for him to be taking. The one person who's probably feeling starved for space right now shouldn't be the Medusa.
it's
Should,
Carl.
it should be the Necro, right? The Necro is basically your pos 3 now in this game.
I feel like Carl should just be playing with Lesh, but is Lesh just such a fast hero that...
Too fast, yeah, that's the thing we were talking about, right? Like, Necro is such a static, stationary hero.
Would you disassemble these arcane boots and just get Travs? I feel like you're having a hell of a game, it might be a good idea.
I think he should have Travs, yeah, absolutely.
We talk about the supports, something we're not really doing at all.
Yeah, I mean, Venge is going straight for the shard with Tranks. We talked about the Snapfire before, doing 1 billion damage, and has shard, and now has...
Is it still
That's
a thing
it.
to get like a couple of fluffy hats? She's not that tanky. She's got like an HP.
I guess, probably, but yeah, I think getting the shard is fine.
So
Um,
M's got one fluffy hat.
What's weird to me is that Peter hasn't finished the Spirit Vessel. He's just stopped to earn on the Clockwork. Pretty good Vessel game, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's pretty nice.
Carl and Chris running at Nick.
I think Vessel is just so much damage.
But they do manage to bring down the Venge, and now I think Chris and Carl have got to run away. Something Chris will have absolutely no trouble with, but, you know, Carl's the slow hero. They
Pretty
decide
good
not to.
Vessel game. It's also just good against Lesh, I think.
Yeah.
Makes the Lesh kind of fragile.
Oh, they don't find him with the Q, and they think he's gone, but actually he's just in those trees there. Oh, we've got the Globs. We've got Globs, Stephen.
there. They killed the wave, which was nice.
Yeah.
But, that kind of makes you.
And G
That
gets
tells
the
you
mid
that
tower.
they're just delaying this tower to go down, right? Because this tower's lost.
Yeah, but they get the mid
It's
tower and they
Jack's
can
still.
probably stop. Like Chris might be able to trade honestly with Edict.
That's
Die have
just
to
that-
glyph because
my God,
Edict's
Courier-
used.
The courier is basically saying that Carl is there. Carl walks out. Carl is now lost.
But now they're all just chasing after him.
This is like Jerex watching a Jerex play Pulse 5 right now. He could TP.
He can't now.
Okay, now he can't.
He's trying. Oh, the cask!
Love the hood. That's gonna do a lot. If I, pushing
You
the hood
may as
there,
well. You may as
I'll
well.
0.1 seconds.
I'm
of
not
loading.
taking the mick out of it. You may as well.
No, it's just funny. I know you. Of course, you may as well. It's just funny.
Good practice to be in. I think it's odd that Chris
Pushing it.
left. Chris stopped his pushing.
I'm just surprised they're still playing bot. Like this is a.
Well, yeah,
this is just
the
nothing
Venge is just
time.
dead, right? It's just, yeah.
This is kind of buying you a lot of time, at least.
It's
That's
Chris
just gonna push
yeah,
up
Chris is
you
going to
top
trade
and
now,
I'm
yeah.
actually gonna trade.
Someone needs to TP. Oh, everyone's going to TP.
He's fine though. He's got BKB. He
Yeah.
can't- In theory, he can't die with this BKB because he can always just BKB TP if he's in any. Now gets to just play insanely like this. And just gets to
Yeah,
run
I
around.
love this kind of movement on Leshrac. It's just so
It's just
good.
an absolute nuisance, isn't it?
He
'Cause you
could
wanna
have
run
he
through,
could have gone
but-
underneath that tier 2 and pinched that wave. I'll find out on the other side instead.
Oh, you know what? You should get this tower now as well. He saw 3 heroes TP.
I mean, I do enjoy some Leshrac gaming.
Jack is going 4 staff. This item is fantastic, isn't it?
What, 4 staff?
Yeah, it feels like it's so nice to have on the team. Seems that everyone's going it now after so many patches of it being pretty bad.
I mean, I'm such a huge fan of Lotus at the moment. Like, having two Lotuses on one team just feels so good. Oh,
Yeah.
they get the swap, but I think Carl's dead anyway.
Rich held BKB slightly too long, got stunned.
Oh my gosh, Shiani actually doing a lot of damage there. They do trade 1 for 1 and Carl gets a scythe kill. And Chris is in with the BKB now. And actually just completely destroying his targets.
Actually, okay, that was a fortunate kill on.
No, Yam, no. Run away, run away, run away. And that's a 4 for 2.
Yeah. Chris, so Rich actually got out on about 50 life there, so nearly was a 5 for 2.
And
But,
G was doing a lot of damage there without many items.
do they have any damage amping right now? I don't.
I mean,
see
his
anything.
net worth's
They
pretty
have
good,
the
but
Venge level 1 with the aura, but that's
maybe
it.
the W from the Venge had been thrown, but Venge was dead for most of that fight, so I don't know. Just felt like he did a lot of damage, right, on the Medusa.
Yeah.
Certainly more than tickled the people he was
Is
hitting.
Is G top level right now? Level 18? Okay, Chris is 1 level above. Yeah, he's got a lot of levels on G.
Yeah, he certainly does, they both do. Yeah. I mean, Radiant in a great spot right now, right?
Definitely. This is looking fantastic.
What does
already.
Gabe have to say? Gabe's saying
Because-
85%.
Yeah, like I said, I think this was a pretty good deuce again. I don't think the Jakiro necessarily answered the Medusa. And this is a second pick Medusa. They had 3 heroes to pick into this.
I mean, the Jakiro was to some degree a tempo answer, right? But they didn't... Like, the lanes didn't go well enough for the tempo answer.
Yeah, I think it's just that this Lash got too far ahead.
Yeah. I think it's very hard to play the core Jakiro against the Leshrac, actually, because of what you were saying about,
Yeah.
you know, getting up in your face. Particularly now there's this BKB out.
The Lash is just going to outmaneuver you in every way. On the map and in team fights.
Yeah, I think you were quite right in your read of that. However, they are going to find Chris, but Chris is just going to TP, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we could be...
Oh! Oh, we forgot!
But I think he's still okay, because... Oh no, team is...
He might just get 2 killed.
Yeah, he's got the shard. But...
He's out of mana. In
Damage
come the
coming
globs,
in.
though!
Well,
Easy globs. Glob Gaming.
Oh, Jack trying to save his Necrophos. Somehow this fight going pretty disastrous though.
Oh,
Oh,
Rich,
amazing
is Rich
TP.
dead? No, Rich isn't dead. Ooh.
That was a fantastic TP from Vulnerable there. Against the clockwork.
Okay,
Just knowing
so
that Assault was on cooldown and just going for it.
2 for 2, and obviously the net worth swings in Dire's favour. But in terms of like the heroes that die and so on, you know, you're not too unhappy as Vadian either, right? Certainly in terms of how you clean that up. Like keeping this jug down is important.
Yeah, and I think Medusa, when the Medusa gets the Scardia, which she's 300 gold off now, Medusa can definitely not feel bad about joining fights. Like without the Scardia, you get kited kited pretty easily, but with the Scardia, like it's much easier for you to play the fights. So
Yeah.
they
I
are
mean,
really strong. Medusa
what
doing
do you
lots of
reckon to the
damage.
item build on the jug?
What do you? You asking, do I like it, or do you mean?
Yeah, do you think it's reasonable for this game? Like Diff, obviously you can see where it's coming from, like with the Medusa, and then like
Yeah,
Manta
I
pretty
think
normal.
maybe you go S and Y. I think you have to commit. Did you get the? She didn't get the Blade Fury talents, so maybe it's too. I don't think when you don't get these talents, I don't think you can get the
Shard,
shard and just go with it, which is unfortunate.
because the shard with Diff probably quite good right here.
to play into this Leshrac and Necrophos, I don't know how you do it without with your hero without playing the Blade Fury build. Right
You got to get a Skadi at some point, right? As well.
You do. It's a hard item to build though. The build up of Skadi just feels.
This is just
so
bad on
slow.
jug. Yeah.
It's good on Jug. It's just that.
But it's in the build-up
is
feels
just
bad. Yeah.
5k gold for just stats until you actually get what you want. It doesn't feel great. Does get the Manta. But we have Nick going down.
Wait, you're telling me that Nick's dead?
I am. Carl looking
I think
pretty
Carl's
dead as
dead
well.
though as well, right? Does at least get the counter kill onto Emma. But is Chris going to die here? Omnislash, yeah. Nicely done. How on earth does Rich get the kill there? Good healing ward out from Yam.
These gloves are just too late. Like I don't know what these gloves are doing.
But how did Rich get the kill there when there was an Omnislash? Was it seriously
don't know.
Eye of the Storm?
Lucky, I think.
Yeah, he was stunned.
So they nearly have refresh on Rich, which is like really strong timing. You can get this refresher. That's 12 seconds of BKB in a fight. But they do have the Skadi, so if G is just attacking the Razor, then Razor's gonna have a pretty rough fight.
Razor needs some kind of armor solution, I think, so he can stand on this Deucer long enough to double sucker. But instead he's queued up the Ags, which I don't like.
Double Zuck.
Ags feels like such a bait on Razor at the moment.
Quietly EE confident. Sean right in the chat.
Yeah, I
You
think
called
about
him
right.
EE.
Jack actually has a lot of farm. He certainly does, doesn't he? He's up there with the cores.
Oh, Nick went back for the Witchblade.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And then he's going for a pipe. I mean, it's a good pipe game, I guess. If I really hate buying pipe at the moment. I'll only normally do it on Underlord, but
Right. I actually, one day, like I said, I kind of would have liked the 4 staff, give him some ability instead of just tanking.
well, it's one of the reasons these Kojic heroes often go traps as well, right?
You also see BKB on him.
Does a lot of damage out onto Carl, but yeah, sure enough, this is what you were saying. They just run Chris straight at him. Is Chris going to BKB? I think Chris is going to die anyway, right? He's already maledicted. No, he's not quite.
Carl gets eaten alive by
Gets
the...
the scythe out. Oh, Chris is dead as well. Here come the globs, but the healing ward's down.
He's here now, getting the Skadi onto Rich.
So Rich is dead. But kind of late. You've already lost your other 2 cores.
It's kind of rough. We've got the healing ward, which is nice. I think
Well-
he is rightfully scared here. Like, there's... two
Yeah, he
heroes-
can't stand and fight.
Don't think so. Not into the Jakiro.
Not until just
Hero's got
repeated
too much
ice bath, right, and that, yeah. And the attack slow and so on. I guess he's got a Manta, but it's on cooldown, so.
And Omnislash is up actually again. So.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, really, really good fight for the Dire there. Really important one for them to win.
He finishes Pike.
Oh, great. I think
Yam
Yam's
is dead here.
good Omni Slash.
Yam's definitely dead though.
Still dead though, yeah. Cass comes out.
Peter just getting out, I think. Oh,
And why is Nick still here?
trying
Nick's
to save his
dead now.
team.
Well, he's dead.
It's a thought that counts. Catfish off. Is going to go down as well, I fear. Tries, I think, for the neutral deny, but there's just giga damage.
This point in the
coming out.
game, getting on a small camp seems like somewhat wishful thinking, I think.
That would be lucky.
It would. That would actually be lucky, unlike many things you use that word for.
So getting Roche now. First Roche in the game, so no shard.
Still, my feeling is you put an Aegis on this Medusa.
I think Medusa should build some more damage now. You know, you've got the Skadi. You're playing against 3
You've got
range
Pike.
cores.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 range cores, and you've got Pike. You need damage at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, don't you normally start buying damage after you have Manta Skadi?
You do. Typically.
Not some kind of
Pretty sure
revolutionary thought then,
it's-
Stephen, is it, Smile?
No, I just think like it. I was playing a game last night where I was PL and I built a nullifier, but I think I just was like lying in bed last night thinking if I built Daedalus, the game might have been winnable instead of like. I just think Daedalus is just such a nutty item. I think
I
it's
just
still
want
the same-
hold on. I just want to just take a minute to remark on how you were lying in bed thinking about a Dota game you didn't win.
I've just been playing too much Dota. It's sad. I'm not proud of it.
Sag.
Sad.
But you were bat chesting at the same time.
So, TB is really strong, and then
Oh.
you get
Rich gets caught with the swap and the Skadi.
nice hook though.
But you know, the scythe comes out. Here come the globs! Lads, we've globbed. Oh, but Yam brings down Chloe. Didn't have to use the Omni Slash either. Oh, the Ice Path just
wait.
misses.
Like, still fighting.
Does Chris still has a fresh BKB? So.
This is gonna be a big snake back for G. Yeah, lots of mana.
But, you know, yeah, I think they're both teams kind of okay with the fight ending as it does.
That was Razor using the refresher as well. So now has like a 1 minute 40 cooldown on.
Yam had a
to hit the
DD
proper
there.
fucking fight.
Like, Yam did a good job to get the kill on Chloe, but I almost think, you know, if you've got DD, Omni Slash, and Blink, you just gotta find a use for it, right?
Yeah.
Thing
And
is,
I think
who is...
getting the Venge is like the least
Oh,
valuable target.
oh, I really don't like what Yam has queued up next.
Ags.
Ags Abyssal. For me, like, you need like a Skadi. You probably want a Nullifier, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I know Matt hates Ags on Jug.
I don't
sure.
hate it at all. I quite often like it, but I don't think this is the game for it. Not with the number of Ghost Scepters and Yules and, you know, all that crap, right?
Aggressive blink from Yam is gonna get Jack.
No.
No, he's not. That was a very aggressive blink. Finds the Deucer, considers the Omni Slash, cancels it.
I think right to cancel it. You know, it's a Deucer with an Aegis.
I think I'd go Skadi. Like I said, the build-up sucks, but you've kind of got to get it against
Your
Thresh
team needs
and
one.
Necrophos and Medusa. You
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah, your team needs one way too much.
It's too good of a Skadi game to not build it.
And I think Nullifier is so good here as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Like-
You're gonna want Nullifier after Skadi.
I think Nullifier
it's a pretty
Skadi,
good
and you
build.
just get to kill Necrophos all day long. You just get to kill Leshrac all day long.
Deucer could answer by going like Butterfly.
Yeah, Deucer, like, I don't think... it's good against Deucer. You don't just get to kill Deucer because of it, though. And actually, for my money, the way the Jug needs to play these fights, right, is to kill one of the other two cores first with the Omni Slash. You're not going to bring Deucer down at the start of the fight, and you can't leave the Leshrac and Necro alone for too long. I want to use my Omni Slash to burst one of the other two. And then just, you know, like,
Yeah, they
play
are
with the
playing
sensible healing ward position.
Lesh's playing fight's very split to the team, it feels like.
Hmm.
Lesh is going on the back line. Whereas Deuce is stood in the front line.
So we're going to get a tier 2 trade here. Radiant, of course, did take the dire tier 1 in
There's no way
the...
that this is favouring Radiant. You're 12k ahead and you're taking even trades? Not.
Probably not.
Boggers.
Yeah, probably favouring
Lesh
dire, but...
can get the Q spam, which is...
Bizarrely, I thought it would be Lesh that you would leave there, and the other heroes you might bring home.
This split earth spam with the shard is one of my least favourite things in the game.
They lose half that tier 3.
Now my enemies pay.
That was actually quite impressive how much damage they did to that tower.
Well, they just let Jakiro hit it like 5 times. Yeah.
Does the liquid frost on Jakiro apply liquid fire burn?
No, it's got its own burn.
So it just applies a separate burn.
Yeah. This max HP damage thing.
And does that work against towers?
Yes.
Wow. So does it do more damage to a tower?
Emma dead, but they get the link onto the Necrophos in response. Nick looking a little bit isolated, if you ask me there, but they do just get the TP out.
He just decided to not kill the Jakiro for some reason. It was absolutely shredding.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a bit confused by that as well. Sorry, what were you asking about Jakiro? Liquid Frost.
Does the liquid frost do more damage to towers or the liquid fire?
I'm pretty sure Liquid Frost does, right? Burn on
don't know.
that one is 150. Towers have what, tier 3 is
30
2500
versus
health.
2.5%. Let's get
Oh, actually, Liquid Frost does 20 base.
Okay.
Plus the 2.5%. So, definitely more from Liquid Frost. But it also has a 12-second cooldown. So only a 1/3 uptime, while Liquid Fire should be up all the time.
Okay, sure. So it does crazy. So it does even more tower damage. That's what Jakiro was missing. Cool shard.
And it's got a stun on it. And a movement slow.
Does it stun towers?
I don't think so.
The stun's
Don't
pretty
know, maybe.
pathetic.
It's only a 1-second stun, but it's a nice little, you know, it's a little mini stun, right? Going to attack someone with a mini stun. Oh god. I was like, it's got a 12-second cooldown. What just happened? Because it was showing 9. Steven, what just happened?
You asking me?
I am. What happened? Like, Nick had an ability with the 12-second cooldown that suddenly started showing 9.
I don't know.
And he built an ether lens earlier.
Of course. I didn't. I'm not joking. It took me about 20 seconds to figure that out.
Yam's just omniing Deucer. I think
Not feel
Yam's
good.
just dead, right? Yeah, Yam's just dead. That was a weirdly aggressive decision, I
That was
think.
unlucky.
Chris goes down in response, I think, probably.
Scythe kind of wasted.
But Rich goes down as well. Rich just went down on the other side of the fight. So now Nick's dead as well.
Look at this damage that Deucer. It's such a target for Deucer to take out this Jakiro early if she can. Oh my god. Is anyone watching this? And the invis room.
And the
Okay.
invis rune.
I'm uninstalling Dota.
It's just Nick gaming, dude. Nick gaming.
I'm uninstalling
How do you beat
Dota.
this man?
You don't.
You don't. You'll just have an invis rune waiting for him right there. And the best thing is for him, invis runes have got a less than 2-minute cooldown because he's got his Octavine core. Smile.
I saw a stat today that I'm not going to say on stream for benefits of my IDL win rate, but I will tell you after the stream. But did you see G farming those camps then? This is just such a nice little jungle area, isn't it? On Dire, where you
yeah.
farm 3 camps so close together.
Oh, Carl just jumps in onto Clock, but Clock just glimmers and ignores it. And does now have the finished vessel. So now the question is, can they? They need to get back in here, right? They need to get, like, there's no Chris. Just get aggressive. Guys? Hello?
There is Deuce.
Guys, Leshrak's dead. Can we do anything?
Can we do anything? Smile? Yeah, he has Ags on Yam.
Well, I mean, I think it's a bit obvious now, guys. Oh god.
It's a thought that counts. You
Yeah.
could transition this point booster into a Scarly, which would be good, but I think she's going to get the Yags. Sorry, the Yags.
I think
I mean,
I think they are gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Vlupius in team fights. He's going to go in, he's going to cogs back, which he's fantastic at, and he's got this Glimmer and Force Staff. He's really unkillable.
Unlike Jack, who's dead. And you just got Nick, meanwhile, chasing off the Doozer and Necrophos because he's just so powerful. I mean, to be fair, this Ice Path has a 6.5 second cooldown. And like a 2.5 second duration.
Disgusting.
I'm a little bit disappointed he took the Macropier damage talent when he doesn't have an Eggs. But maybe if he buys an Eggs next, you know.
I just love seeing stuns go for longer. Like DK, level 25 stun is just so satisfying.
What, the big AoE?
No wait, the duration on the stun.
The duration's a level 15 talent, I think. The plus 0.5
No.
second duration. Yeah. The level 25 is
Okay,
AoE Dragon Tail.
Didn't he used to have a 25 talent that was like plus 1.5 seconds on Dragon Tail?
Maybe, but now I'm just
Okay.
Stephen, you're talking to me about Dragon Knight. I'm telling you, the other talent now is AoE Dragon Tail, which is pretty sick, right? But it's only when you're in Dragon form.
Okay. Anyway.
But I mean, that's like the thing is, you get the half a second stun talent, right? I think it's 15, might
And
be
you
20.
get like,
And then you get that
like a
AoE
Timeless
one.
Relic or something.
Yeah, and you just like stun like 3
Just stunning
people for
people
4
for 5
seconds. Yeah,
And
Well,
late
'cause-
game, that's just death.
because it's already without the talent a 3 second stun, so it goes up to a 3.5, and then as you say, timeless relic for another 25%.
Yeah, you're talking 5 seconds. AoE.
That's yeah.
It's like actually just black hole.
I
An
remember-
uncancelable black hole.
Can't remember who it was against. Might have been against your team. Can't remember when I was playing
What
DK.
health. It's like,
And Ali, yeah, it was against your team. Like when I was playing DK and Ali was. Oh, never mind. Rich is dead and Nick's dead. I glanced away for 1 second.
So Rich had BKB on cooldown, but did have the refresher and kind of greeded. But this greed has.
This is why this
Where's-
Axe he's buying I really don't like. He's just way too
Yeah.
squishy, right? How's he get into fights?
People. I don't know. People have said. I don't know. People don't seem to go Ags on Razor these days. do they?
No.
They literally
It's a
don't
bait.
Consider it an item.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice as a luxury, but it's a bait early on. I mean, I'd like him to either have a plate mail item or a halberd. Like, having a halberd would be great, right? You could just, like, run in, disarm the Deucer, start sucking, refresh it, disarm her again, suck some more.
Albert would be very nice. Especially with the refresher, it would be really, really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Good suggestion. I think some armor as well would be nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm
He
saying,
went
like some kind of plate mail item as well. But
He went for the level 20 Eye of the Storm talent, which is maybe why he's going Ags, but the other one, it just seems so incredible.
I hate the
20
Storm Surge move speed talent.
No, it's amazing.
I think the
it's
Storm
so
one's
broken.
always the choice, even when you're not going X, particularly if you have a refresher.
I so disagree with you. I think it's amazing. You're getting how much MS? Something like 70 MS?
No, because it's pre the Storm Surge you've already got. It takes that from 24 to 45, so it wouldn't be multiplicative.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, but that
It-
still is like 70 MS. You're adding, like, let's say your base is 350, right? You're adding
Yeah,
20% more movement speed.
Okay, I can't get excited by it.
Oh,
Okay, so
son.
the Axe is
Look
out
at
now for Yam, right? Yeah. So G's
It's
going to lose
super
first
low.
life, I think. Right? G is going to lose his first life, right?
I think he is because of the Jakiro. Oh no, Yam!
Oh,
the Yam
yikes.
cost.
Gotta buy
Yam
back.
cost
You gotta buy back.
costs.
Yeah, good buy back. Oh, Rich, no, you can't suck like that. You've got to refresh right now. Got to refresh right now. Yep. But he's just too squishy, right? He can't
Yeah,
maintain
yeah.
a suck.
If he had
And Yam
the,
died back. I think this is game. Nick's dead, but he actually has buyback, so you know, first time for everything, I guess. Oh, what a cogs! But that's still going to result in that being Peter's dieback as well.
He's caught
They
late.
get onto G.
Right. Razor hates sucking this hero right now.
I think Carl just ethereal G there, which was bad.
I think it was good. It kind of saved him.
I think he was going to live either way,
Any
and it just kind of meant he didn't do any damage. He probably was going to push them back on his own from how strong we've seen he is. Right, now Jack's dead, I think. Chris is running in. Chris doesn't really have the mana to run in here, though. Right,
Nice ice pass.
I think you have to disengage if you're Radiant now. I think you might lose Carl as well.
BKB TP out. Kind of leaving the Deucer alone here.
Thing is,
You
she
can
got
tell Rich-
sucked for 141 there, and she still just killed Rich.
Rich is not enjoying playing this game right now. Imagine if we had a halberd. It would be
Or
playable.
just some armor, right? Yeah.
It would be playable for him, but
Hmm.
as it stands, it's just unplayable.
I mean, I don't know where G's going, honestly. May as well just keep pushing.
No mana, and there is a Jakiro. So he's scared. He could.
We can keep going.
He needs to try and get mana back by like from creeps. These
Those are a good one to stone. Yeah,
Dragons have a lot of mana, so
yeah.
decides not to do that.
Well, the Wild Wings, right? They all three of them now have mana pools.
Oh, G's level 29.
Um,
Their mango,
I'm not
he-
sure mangoing him is going to help that much,
His
lads.
backpack is started in Manta, like he's getting mangoed for nothing. That's just the way Jack plays. Like, I love the way Jack plays.
Carl just
He plays so
BKB'd.
sacrificial. Zoning BKB. They should get megas here though. With we got a swap. Swaps in the Jakiro. That's level 25 on
Ah.
the Snapfire. I don't know if you noticed how fast those Mortimer kisses were coming in.
Ah, makes sense, yeah. And that's a dead everything and GG.
GG. So yeah,
Well, it wasn't the
Good magician.
25-minute game you called, but
no. But we did kind of see like the mega. There was a lot of action.
there was a lot of
I just
action.
expected it to be a bit more snowbally, and it was kind of you had Nick really popping off. You also had
Chris super
really
popping off,
a
yeah.
lot more, and they kind of actually didn't interact with each other like ever, did they? Which was strange.
Not too much, and then suddenly they started doing so and Nick kept dying. Right, because the Lash ran at him a few times. And then they stopped interacting again in the late game as Nick only wanted to interact with the Medusa.
Yes. Well played by both teams.
Yeah, 1-1. So that should give us the end of week result, which is my team
That's
top,
where we stand.
naturally, 6-2. 3 teams tied on 4-4, being your team, Clotchies, Bring Back Buckets, and also them and Puck again.
Okay.
And then you have Evil Peniuses and Strongmen tied for 5th on 3 and 5. So
Wow.
3 teams on 4 and 4, 2 teams on 3 and 5. Everything to play for going into the last week, I think.
Yeah. So are you the only team that's safe, or are you not safe?
Yeah, we're safe
Okay.
because the worst we can finish is 6 and 4, and I don't think. Yeah, there's no way the 3 other teams can reach 6 and 4, right? I don't think so.
No, don't think so. They're only ever going to be able
Who
to tie with
plays
you,
each
and that
other?
means they're going to go through. So
Yeah, because you play there and Puck again. Only 2 teams can get to 6 and 4, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we're safe.
So an important week next week.
But it's nice to go into a
what
last
to
week with
watch.
every team live, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't happen too much.
This is for sure one of the closest seasons that I can ever remember.
Yeah,
so many
which
1-1s.
it's not what everyone was chatting at the start of the season. So shows what our expert analysis has to say about things.
Analysis is.
Yeah. Bunch of fucking
All those
opinionated
analysts
people.
know. They don't know anything.
Indeed. Indeed. Right. We'll leave the stream there.